Hey, welcome everyone. We have a fantastic match today between Cola and Hamsda. I'm here with Ingle. Ingle, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, doing fantastic. Geez, these two runners. I'm so stoked for this match.
Yeah, are you sure we're not in the top 32 watching
real?
this?
No, for reals. Hamsda was ranked 36th, I want to say, coming out of the qualifiers. And
something like that.
Something crazy. And Cola is just such a strong run. I mean, they're both so strong. I think I remember seeing the difference in their qualifier points was about 85, which is nuts. Like, they are that close of runners.
For sure, and it looks like we're underway already.
Yep. Goron City.
All right, not terrible, because we start with Prelude, so easy warp back.
Yeah. What do we have for Downs? Dear God. I caught Fire. I think I caught Deku, and that was about it. Okay. Hints, what do we have? Colossus left is dead.
Well, Goron is not dead.
Hello.
Haunted Wasteland.
Haunted Wasteland?
What are these hints?
What the hell?
Who rolled this?
I want a new seed. Cola going back and checking just in case.
He's like, wait. What did that say?
Right, hold up. Like, did that just say what I think it said?
Felix, what did you do?
Haunted Wasteland, Way of the Hero. That's one of the strongest Way of the Heroes you could ever get, because there is absolutely zero ambiguity in what that item could be. Like, you get Cack Way of the Hero, you're like, maybe it's the song, maybe it's this item, maybe it's that item, maybe you have to do chickens. Haunted Wasteland, you're like, this is it. It's Din's Fire. Done. So we have Cola farming the 20. Hamsda looks like going Child.
Oh, and yeah, 40 is Din's too, so...
Oh, 40 is Din's? Oh, God. So Hovers on Big Goron, 40 on Din's on 40. Just go get your popcorn now, everyone. We're going to be here for a long-ass time.
That's so interesting. We've got Cola staying adult Kakariko, but Hamsda insta-child.
I love this. And this is one of my favorite things about S4 is the divergence in openers. And I think a lot of people have talked about this, but I think S4 really, I mean, starting with a song, random starting age, random starting spawn location really does shake up the openers, which I love.
Yeah, and Shadow is in fact a medallion, so buckle up, we're in for a ride.
Shout outs to the shield salesman there that requires you to have 80 rupees, but then will not sell it to you for 80 because he gives you a discount. So you still have to farm the rupees. You just get to keep some at the end. I always thought that was funny.
Yeah, and it's always a different amount of discount each time, so...
I know. Okay.
We got the Lon Lon play. So we're going to see 2 songs at Windmill and Lon Lon here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think these are the 2 most classic Season 4 openers that I've seen. It's either Adult to Cat Graveyard or Lon Lon Ranch to Valley Lake Open Grotto to Kokiri. I think those are kind of the 2 classics that have emerged from the meta.
For sure. We got Easy Lullaby here in the Windmill, so that's nice.
Seed, you're making this too easy. With, 40 skulls and, Big Gora. Like, with an asterisk, but you're making this too easy, Seed.
Yeah, come on. We're going to need Nocturne and Ice Cavern, right?
With letter somewhere dumb. It's... Oh, hello Scale.
Yeah, Scale's nice. And
Scale.
Jabu is Forest Medallion, so
Ooh.
maybe we'll get some easy early access there.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're gonna see probably an earlier letter. I could be wrong. I mean, I've seen
We
late.
could be totally wrong.
I was like,
that,
I've seen late, Force Medallion Jabu before, but usually it means that you're gonna find those things earlier rather than later. But I love scale early is so nice. I mean,
Storms
just
early, however.
So, well,
but Hamsda doesn't have a lullaby.
no.
What was that on the
I have
TARDIS? Was that
no
a
idea.
Almost
No
looked like
idea. It looked too light to be bomb bag.
Yeah, that's why I thought it might be wallet.
I think it might be wallet. Let's see. Do we see the save quit here from Hamsda? I think this is a great place to save quit, especially with Prelude. You know that if you don't like where you end up, you can always Prelude and walk from there.
Yeah, I usually like to try out the save quit, see where you end up once you're at the back of Lon Lon, as long as you have a decent warp. Alright, well, basically Kakariko with that one, so...
So there's Keaton Mask. Real question is this also chickens? Come on, baby, let's go! Let's go!
Alright, we got a slingshot from Dompe.
Yep, not a bad early adult. Again, having Prelude means you're not really risking a whole lot. It's only been 6 minutes. You walk out with Scale and ZL and a slingshot. You know, all of those things are going to be helpful when you go to your child 2 at this point.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of prefer Cola's route here, just getting this done before making that first time swap.
Yeah, and it's always hard. You know, it's a gamble between going adult or child in your first sequence. There's pros and cons to both. I think Colo really is walking out of adult here with some incredible child items, child songs that are going to be very beneficial. Scale especially. It means that you can do river, it means that you can do domain and lake. Like, it just gives you so much better movement access and gives you a lot more checks more efficiently.
Yeah, and now Nocturne, so not going to be on the hunt for that today.
Yeah. Again, see, it's just making it too easy for us. Except for storms. Honestly, though, I like early storms because you're going to be doing Death Mountain Trail. You're going to be doing Kokiri Forest. Having that storms just means that you backtrack a lot less. You're not orphaning as many checks, which is really nice. Oh, Andrew's hitbox is it's so big.
The chicken's just sitting under her, like, camping. Just a Deku stick.
Just one. Feels bad.
Here, kid, have a stick. Thanks for the chicken.
Have one.
Cola taking another look at those.
Just to confirm that didn't say is foolish. That does in fact say Haunted Wasteland, Way of the Hero. What a delight. And really great Skull Mask routing here from Hamsda. They're going to have that their first time through Lost Woods, which is kind of what you want. Either you want to get it your very first time through, or if you are going to come back through a second time with explosives, it's kind of your other best bet. Otherwise, you're orphaning that check, and it can be pretty hard if it has an item.
Yeah, and with the Prelude, very easy to just route it in quick here, get it done, get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got double slingshot game going on.
So worth it. Yeah, chat. Throwdown. Who are you rooting for? You rooting for Cola? You rooting for Hamsda? Let's see. Let's see who your votes are for.
Kind of interesting. Hamsda already going back adult here. Really just getting the Lon Lon song, grabbing the masks, and we're back.
Yeah. I am surprised from Hamsda that they didn't make at least Kokiri, Lost Woods, Sacred Forest Meadow. Surprised they didn't make at least that play. Get yourself an extra song. Do Kokiri checks, which, you know, there's one that's child specific. You have storms. You know, turn and skull mask. There's a lot you can do and that's set up for. It is a little bit hard to get to. Totally understand that.
It's perhaps the fact that there was no real easy way to walk out to like Kokiri Forest there.
Yeah. And that is the one downside, is it is a hike. That being said, you know, when you're still looking for some pretty strong items, it's a good thing to route in. Which is why you'll see a lot of people from Lon Lon go to Valley Lake, open Grotto, and then keep back walking to Kokiri. It's just a nice loop. Pretty efficient, all things considered. Okay, we're just kind of treading old water here. Cola doing what Hamsda did, Hamsda doing what Cola did. So it'll be really interesting to see what Cola does here. Probably same route with the save quit.
Yeah, but Cola, I think, with the save quit, might be way more inclined to just hop in the well, having Lullaby here.
Yeah, Lullaby and Storms, you're right. 3 checks, bomb locked in their case because they don't have strength. Strength or fire source. So it kind of limits what you can do. But otherwise, I mean, that's a lot of checks that are really fast. Like really, really fast. Yeah, and pointing out in chat, you know, Grotto Valley Lake, the nice thing about that is the scale. Scale gets you into Domain, gets you into River. You can dip into Lost Woods from there, Sacred Forest, Medical Kokiri Forest. Real nice with that scale. So it gives you a nice, good loop.
Yeah, but we do have the save quit, so looks like we're back in Kakariko.
Yes, we are. Cool. It's like, what the hell? Oh! We got our predictions started, folks. Now you can really put down some channel points. So go ahead. Who will what are we doing? Who will enter a dungeon first? Hamsda or Cola? I think I'm gonna put my money on Hamsda entering a dungeon first.
And yeah, Felix, that's also a decent option here, having Lullaby and that spawn point. You could just go into Goron City, do some flame storage, and make your way into Lost Woods from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cole has a lot of really good routing options available to him right now.
Seems like we're gonna see the GV Lake play though.
Yes, the spawn point was meant for Skull Mask. That being said, Skull Mask, of course, is not going to have anything because it's too convenient of a check, which is how it works. Interesting. So Cola is opting to basically hoof it straight out to Kokiri. which not a bad play. I mean, again, with scale, it gives him some movement options. So you have a lot of variability here. It does mean that it's a little bit harder to route in Valley from here unless you go from Lake to Open Grotto to Valley. So Valley might be put off for a while here for Cola.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to make the Valley play, you would have just started with running to it.
Yeah, you would. I mean, yeah, totally.
But this way, I think you're just orphaning it.
So where's Hamsda going from here? So that's a Nocturne, so it looks like they're staying adult at least for a little bit.
Definitely checking the hint here coming out of the grave. Okay, so Requiem off of beating Jabu.
Now, interesting.
Yeah, Spirit is a stone, so might not entirely need it, but we could reverse over to that Wasteland check.
To the Wasteland. That, and you know, Spirit's going to show up in the sea. Like, it's just going to show up. Like, it's just going to kind of, you know, muddy the water a little bit and get its little hands in there. And it's Spirit. It's way too dense of a location for it not to have an item. So yes, we have only seen one Way of the Hero, and we have found both copies of it. Haunted Wasteland. Oh, there it is. Hi, Bomb Bag.
Easy bomb bag.
Easy bomb. Mido's just paying out.
Oh, and we're feeling the love.
I mean, this makes Lost Woods. Look at this. Look at this. Slingshot, Bomb Bag, Skull Mask.
We're only missing Sarias.
We're literally just missing Sarias, and it's a full clear of Lost Woods right here. That's insane.
I didn't quite catch what the 50 was there.
And chat pointing out, 50's dead. Chat pointing out, bottom of the well is absolutely 100% in logic right now, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, we can full clear the well. We could go do Stone to Dongos. A lot of options opening up here.
Ew. Stonodongos. It's I have thoughts about Stonodongos, and none of them are nice thoughts. It's just it's always open so early in the seed, you know?
Yeah, it's you just need bombs or like a hammer or whatever.
Or a hammer or strength or juice, or there's so many ways to get in there. There's so many items that you do it that it's all. I mean, it's. I feel like it's more of a gamble than Season 3 Deku Tree, you know?
Yeah, slightly. I think they're about on par.
Yeah.
We got Hamza setting up time of day here. To easily grab Richard and warp over to Dompe digging. It looks like.
I think that's really smart. I've noticed that Richard is one of the checks that has gotten orphaned a lot in Season 4 compared to Season 3. Because without a really good way out of Hyrule Castle, if it's night, you can't save quit. Like,
you can gamble on it, but then you're like, well, I hope it's good.
I saw somebody do this once recently where they did the entire climb through like the old Season 3 where you push the block, you hop in, and you activate the Zelda cutscene just to get out of Hyrule Castle, of the market area. So, I mean, that's really, if you don't have another way out, that's kind of your only way. If your save quits in market and you only have Prelude, I mean, that's it. So here we go. What is on Dompe digging? Bunch of sticks. Skull Mask giving us a blue rupee. Not a whole lot. So Ingle, in this position, you know, you've got DC open, you've got well open. Which would you kind of take in this moment?
Oh, it's a bad question to ask me because everyone knows my stance on early well is that it pays out. I'm probably more likely to go to DC. But...
Go to DC. Well, I asked because they're both pretty quick. Neither of them are exactly required for progression, at least from what we know. We have ZL, we have Nocturne, we know where Requiem is. So the Ocarina song is looking to be less useful, unless it's something like Epona's, which would be wild.
But Hookshot.
Oh,
here.
hi, Hookshot. No. We wouldn't do child DC. We would do adult DC. Come on, chat. They're like child DC Pog. No, we would do adult DC. But it's which one do you gamble? You know, you're a Prelude and a Nocturne away from DC. You're so fast to get into DC. But at the same time, you're a save quit away from going and doing well. And both of them are fast. Both of them are looking to be not required. So, at least from what we can tell.
Here's a nice serenade.
And Hamsda's answering the question for me. Deciding on well.
Yeah. Oh, Goron Cityway.
Oh, there we go.
And Shadow Temple.
Oh! 40 skulls and claim and like the trade sequence for a Way of the Hero medallion shadow. That's saucy. That's spicy.
Yeah, but I think those hints made up Cola's decision here pretty easy. You could just hop on over to Child Goron City, try and grab that Way of the Hero real quick once he finishes Lost Woods, of course. And yeah, Hamsda, first one to enter a dungeon.
Congratulations to all those who voted for Hamsda.
Fire Temple Foolish.
Ooh.
So maybe it's a late hammer in Shadow?
for Ocarina of Time? Oh no, shit, Fire's a... Oh, I didn't say that word. Fire's a medallion, I didn't even notice. Don't tell Hell Knight that I said naughty words on screen.
Gotta go. Straight to Goron City.
Oh, absolutely. Is a shame that Saria's is not available, because this means that there's only 2 out of 3 checks they can do here as Child.
Well, listen, it's not necessarily a shame. It could be on the Ocarina, and we might need it.
We could, yeah, required 80. Oh, that's, you know, that is a thing. If I remember correctly, the very first week, S4 Weekly, there was a required item on Sunsong Grave, and Sunsong was on Ocarina of Time, and Felix won with a sub 3 hour. And so everyone's like, nah, it can't be AD. Somebody finished sub 3 hours. No, Felix just is that good. Just barely missing the jump slash there. quick kill anyway.
Not spinning pot in Goron City.
Nope. One check down. I know, and such a shame that they don't have Saria's song, because you've got Skull Mask early. If you had Saria's, you trade that in. You go get your the one mask that you give to the God, I can't even remember what the mask's name is. The one that you give to the kid in the graveyard.
The spooky mask.
The spooky mask.
Well, not big Goron here.
And then you got Bunnyhood. I mean, Bunnyhood is asterisk so free in this seed, but no Sarias.
Yeah, easy Bunnyhood would have been so nice with Jabu Deku to do.
Right? I mean, that's the dream right there. So, and whoever said that
would have been the PKR special.
I know, right? She would have eaten that up. And again, whoever said that well is always a bait, always bait.
Called it. So far, at least.
It's not paying out yet.
Child Goron City not paying out either.
Oh man!
We're running out of options. We've got
3 checks left, baby.
Hammerrock, Link, and we gotta find Sarias maybe.
Oh man! You gotta feel for Hamsda at this point. And again, like, Hamsda wasted what? 5 minutes in well? So that's why I'm not always opposed to well. Like, if you're there, you're doing Dompe digging, go and do well. Like, it's 5-6 minutes of your time. It's fast, and you know, you knock it out. And if it has an item, that just makes it all the better for when you go to ult.
It looks like Cola's gonna make the play as well, so you're kind of even if you think your opponent's gonna make the same play. Like,
yeah,
if it doesn't pay out for you, it doesn't pay out for them. But well, Cola has bombs, so maybe, just maybe, one of those couple checks.
Yo, if there's something that's bomb locked in well, like, jeez, I would feel so bad for Hamsda. I mean, because when do you go back to well with bombs? For 3 checks, you know? You know?
For a while.
Come on. So, and Shadow's the fastest route to get to Kokiri there. Follow the river just for a little bit. Cross where the fence ends. It's not bad.
Yeah, kind of surprised not to just go up the river. You can get everything and then just dive into Lost Woods.
So they don't have a bomb bag.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, they're going to get that here. Yep.
Yeah.
And Hams is going to feel so bad. I mean, because it's literally their next check is bomb bag coming up here. And having done well and then finding bomb bag afterwards just hurts. Like, having been somebody who's done that before. Oh, you just feel so bad.
It's fine, though. I said it. The well's bait. There's nothing there. Look, he saved time by not having to do a couple checks there.
Yeah, right. Didn't have to go to the basement. Didn't have to do the other two. You're right. But a nice, easy 10 skulls there.
Yeah, we'll get a nice, quick 10 check.
So again, if you're just joining us, 40 Skulls has Din's Fire, so it is required for Medallion Shadow. And whatever our trade sequence starting item is, we know that... Oh, hi, bow!
That's a nice bow. Ooh. All right, so we're a strength away from our favorite dungeon for
That's what I
a
was
temple.
just thinking. Is kind of, you know, if you're Cole at this point, you've got a hook shot, you've got bomb bag, you've got bow. You're kind of starting to get set up to go adult at this point.
I'm very tempted to just go adult. see if I can get Link the
Oh,
Goron.
you dirty seed, you dirty.
Bomb lock.
And there is Hamsda's bomb bag. Yeah, again, Well's not a bad play. I mean, it's 29 minutes. Cola will be out of here, by the 35, 36. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, no, I joke that the well never pays, but it is very good check density.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say it's like deep fire, but we don't have to do deep. Well, we don't know if we don't have to do deep fire, but at least we don't have to. At least we don't have to gamble deep fire. Like we know that we have to go as far as the key takes us, boss key takes us, and then we're done, and that's it. So yeah, so I'll be curious to see where Hamsda goes after this. Having scale, having now bomb bag, already having done well, in a good spot being in Lost Woods right now to possibly go do something like River, Domain.
Yeah, River, Domain, Lake.
Because you can full clear River at this point. You've got Song of Storms. You can do all 4 checks so easy. Pop over to Lake. Oh yeah, so nice.
Yeah, always nice when you can just clear out a ton in one go in a child, pass through.
Yeah.
Try to min-max how many times you're swapping ages.
Yep. And that's kind of where you see some of these good runners really start to shine as great runners, is just their efficiency in being able to route checks together and then knock out those checks. The two kind of go hand in hand between the routing and the execution. But the faster you can knock out checks and the more efficiently you can group kind of your checks per minute is, where you're going to separate yourself from, even good runners. So let's see. First bomb lock check coming up here for Cola. How important was it?
Not very.
Nope. Well, continues to be a bait. I would have been baited right into it with these two.
We've only got one check left now. The basement that we don't know about.
And it's so hard, like, you got Sphere 0 ZL, you got Sphere 0 Bomb Bag, you got Sphere 0 Song of Storms, like, everything's so free in this seed for going well. And then, of course, well has nothing. But Shadow Temple that has 40 skulls and trade item required to even get in. Yeah, that's got to weigh the hero item, though. I don't understand seeds sometimes.
Oh man, hear me out. We get our dins, and we go into Shadow, and we get the claim check.
Oh my god, that would suck. In like one of the first two checks.
Yeah, one of the first two. That's your way there.
God. I'm sure Cola didn't realize this until they got to this point. If you are ever out of sticks, right when you first drop into well, and you pass the first spider, and then you get to the main room there where the water is, that first pot on the left is a stick. So if you ever are out of sticks or running low on sticks, that pot is one of them you can use to get yourself an extra stick. Because not being able to crouch stab this mofo here, as you can see from Cola, is a goddamn nightmare.
Not fun. Hamsda grabs the hook shot.
Cola's just screaming expletives under their names right now. Okay. There we go, baby. Let's go. Yes, Chimp. And I think, honestly, it might have been the better option, but, you know, when you get used to just crouch stabbing, you don't really think like...
You're like, uh-oh, what do I do? This isn't...
And there's the bomb in frustration. Yeah, you don't really think, crap, what's my backup at this point?
Hamsda finding out both these Way of the Heroes, probably gonna head right back into Goron City. Just like Cola did.
Yep, there's the stick. In case anyone was wondering, that's where the stick is. That pot. And I figured Cola knew about it. Probably was just one of those that in the moment you just aren't counting your sticks. You're thinking through checks. And by the time you get there, you go, crap, I don't have enough sticks.
You're like, wait, how did I run through all these sticks already?
I know. Don't they start with 10 or something?
You start with 10.
I say or something as if I haven't played, you know, like
if you have
yes, to this point. It really does feel like you start with 0 though, because by the time you I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten so used to starting with 10. I'm just like, no, I can waste a stick here. I can waste a stick there.
hit this skull, hit that skull.
Oh, I love this trick from Cola. Watch this.
Yeah, just gonna get
Come on,
eaten up.
Mike. Hell yeah, come on, Mike. Let's go!
Now, the downside is we lost the shield, and we do kind of need that later, but we'll cross that when we cross it.
You will need one for Deku. Yeah, if you've never seen that skull trick before, it's wonderful. And it's really good with random skull tokens, because sometimes that'll be an item. And when it is, and you don't have like a boomerang to get it, you just you kill it, you line yourself up, the like takes care of all the rest of the work.
Yeah, like tossing you not in logic though. Just a cool, just a cool little trick.
It's just swaggy as hell.
And yeah, nothing in the well at all, so Hamsda saving, you know, a tiny amount of time by not having the bombs.
Well, and here's the crazy thing, right? Cola had just an abysmal fight there with Dead Hand. Still only 7 minutes, top to bottom. And got every check. Like, that's just how fast well is. Like, if you're in the area, you lose hardly any time by going and doing well.
Yeah, again, especially if you know your opponent's gonna make the same play, it's like, well...
No way did Hamsda just pull that off. No, Hamsda, you're an animal. Man. That was so damn clutch.
Cola not clutch, though.
Cola, not even NA, man.
Alright, so is Link gonna have our Way of the Hero here? Mirror shield.
Oh.
Excuse me, Link. Excuse me. Please take that back.
Oh,
we don't want
baby.
it.
Oh, baby. The seed
Excuse
just
me,
got
sir.
extra saucy. Excuse me. I would like a refund on this item. I don't want mirror shield.
Now, that's not necessarily even the Way of the Hero here.
Oh, God. And the crazy thing is, the only other stone dungeon is Dodongo's Cavern. We already have bomb back, so there's literally going to be no other item that's going to indicate to us that, apart from something like Requiem, which has been hinted, so it can't be Way of the Hero. There's literally no other item that's going to be pointing to AD apart from that mirror shield. That's it. That's the only thing that can be pointing towards AD.
Chimp, we don't know what's on Ocarina yet.
But we know that it has to be one of the 10 or one of the 10 songs that could possibly have an item locked after it. Because we've already gotten both of our Baron songs.
I mean, it could be Bolero, and we don't need that. Or like logical minuet.
It could be logical minuet, logical sarias, which is just a goddamn nightmare. At which point that mirror shield just becomes hella bait. Yo, never punished Cola. Yeah, because the wild thing about Mirror Shield Way of the Hero is either it's for the completion of the Stone Dungeon or it's for 3 checks. Like, and I think that's what people forget is that Mirror Shield Way of the Hero doesn't always point towards Spirit as a dungeon. It just points towards 3 checks or the completion of Spirit. And that's it.
Yeah,
So,
or for maybe a key locked on the one mirror check, and you have to go up to the top. So like,
yeah. And there's your reminder, Big Goron, Craft Hover Boots. Just in case you forgot.
and I like what Hamsda's doing here. Went lake into domain, probably to river, clearing up child here really nicely.
Oh my god, it's so slick. Because you've got both child lake checks with scale, plus setting, Scarecrow. You've got both of your domain checks, and you can do all of your river checks. And so you just knock everything out so easy.
And then you have Prelude to just warp back and go adult.
Yeah, and it's hints too, You get the domain hint here, you get 2 river hints.
That's 2 for Goron City as well, chat.
Oh, Goron City's double way the hero. Man. Though I will point out, that is one thing you don't see as often in this 4-way of the hero S4 versus 5-way of the hero S3 is you don't see as many double way of the heroes.
Yeah. Well, I just thought of another awful possibility. We don't have Eponas yet.
I did. It already crossed my mind.
Because we need the Wasteland.
Yeah, great hookshot extension though there from Cola. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Same idea as getting that bomb chew locked check in Spirit Trial 2 with a bow. Some shenanigans with your C up. Just a reminder that Fire Temple is foolish.
Right, nothing in domain.
Nah, it's just it's this opener's weird, like it gives you enough items to get to give you places to go and things to do, and then it doesn't pay out anything on top of that. It's like, oh, you want to do well? Cool, let me give you everything for well, but I'm not actually going to make well useful for you.
Yeah, Gerudo Valley Hammer also dead now.
Yeah. Which, fun little logic quirk for all y'all, by the way. Getting a sometimes hint about Gerudo Valley Hammers means that we will not find a Baron hint for Gerudo Valley. Which is kind of cool. So, Valley will not be hinted as Baron today. Little logic quirks like that.
I don't think we've seen the other Foolish. I think we've only seen Fire Temple.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still looking for the second Foolish and the Ocarina song. And I think one more Way of the Hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, incoherence correct. Sometimes hints can't overlap barren hints. So, for example, if Death Mountain Trail is foolish, we will still get a big Goron hint because that's an always hint. But we will not see any sometimes hints. Well, Death Mountain Trail doesn't have any sometimes hints. But that being said, exactly, Bitsy, that's a great example. Water Boss Key hinted is dead. You won't get a water foolish, and it. Oh, hi, Boomerang.
That's the ring.
Yep, and Incoherent points out the other weird logical quirk is that if you get a sometimes hint. Oh, there's Kokiri's sword!
All right, we're finding the things.
Okay, this scene's heating up. We finally have things to talk about instead of weird logic. So the correct answer was go do DC.
Child DC would have been good.
Screw the well. Yeah. Child DC. Oh, God.
Listen, I said it. Season 4, DC pays, well doesn't.
Oh, jeez. And again, like, it shouldn't be that way, but here we are.
I think one of my friends actually ran like 10,000 seeds, and it was like, the well pays out about half the time.
Yeah. And I'm guessing DC was just like a stupid amount more.
I don't remember that one. We were actually more curious about the well with how many times we've gotten nothing. We're like, this can't be right, and he's like, it's not. It should be like half.
But I mean, I'm just come on. Like Ziel was free, Storms was free, Bombag was free. Like, come on. Ooh, getting that wallet. Hello. Who needs a bean when you've got a hook shot? Hook shot and weird tricks. Yeah, I think if there was a a tier list for dungeons, I think Felix is right. DC is the new S tier dungeon.
Yeah, Hamsda getting the bow. Is he going to dip back into the well for these 3 checks, or just say orphan them? Looks like he's going back.
Ooh! You bold, Hamsda. It's not the right bold, but you bold.
I mean, he's here. He can knock these out really fast.
True. And you can prelude out here, so like,
Yeah.
really not missing out that much.
Well, we got magic also in Dodongo's.
Sure wish you had that Din's Firebout now, didn't you?
Please.
Oh, Cola. And also, I really do love that strat, though. It's fun. Oh! Hamsda going in here to get the skulls!
Yeah, this makes this a more appealing play. Having Boomerang can grab 2 extra skulls.
Except for those pots are being just the biggest jerks. Yo, I hate the boomerang. I was going to use non-Silver Gauntlet's appropriate words for my sheer hatred for that boomerang. Just hate it. Incoherent. You feel me?
That's how it always goes.
Yo. Oh, go for it.
Every time I have Rang and Slingshot, I'm like, yeah, so we're using Slingshot.
I know, right? Yo, I swear Rang is about 90% accurate. You know, 90% of the time you throw it and it kind of goes where you want it to go, and every 10th throw, like you throw it left and it flings off to the right. You're like,
just goes inside Jabu. You're like, where are you? Come back.
It's just like you're locked on. Navi's like, throw the boomerang here. And Link goes, I am throwing the boomerang here. And the boomerang's like, nah, fam. And just like skirts off to the right. You're like, Boomerang, what are you doing? Yeah, exactly. It just flies off into the abyss. And who knows why.
Hey, another bow on Bob Shoe Bowling. Alright, and Cola gonna immediately take that Kakiri sword back, child. Makes sense. You've got Deku Tree to do, and then Cola still has Domain, River, Lake, all that to just route in right now.
Yeah, words. I was wondering about that. Choosing not to dip Forest and Sacred Forest Meadow. Grab the song there. You can do 5, if not 6 checks in Forest, which is a medallion.
Yeah. I was thinking too, it's like you either go Child here for Deku or you dip Forest first.
Yeah.
I can see arguments for either.
Yeah, again, just because it's not the play that I would make doesn't mean that it's not a bad play. I personally would have kept going through Goron City and at least gotten the song. Because if it's something like Minuet, then 1, you know where your logic lies, and 2, that's great for when you go Child again. Yo, look at this. Come on, baby. Hint pay out.
Lost Woods. After we've done it. Are we grabbing the skull up here too?
We are absolutely grabbing the skull. Let's go. Oh, this is everything I wanted and more. And then grabbing...
Was it actually collected in another race today?
And then Hamsda's in for a nice... Oh, are they just going for resources? They're going for resources. I was like, this... I was about to say, that hint stone no longer gives you a hint because it is technically considered a grotto. But Lost Woods! Come on, Lost Woods!
Oh, and there's the strength.
Look, okay, so then don't dip Forest. Do it later. Fine, whatever. I don't care, see. Do whatever you want. This is why racers like Cola do better than me. Because I'm like, I should go dip Forest, and they're like, nah, I'm doing Deku. And their strength. Right in Deku. They were right.
Yeah, the real kicker will be if we could find the letter. Could just go down the river, grab the ring, and knock out Jabu real quick.
Yeah, so Hamsda's probably going to be getting their boomerang and their magic here pretty soon. I'd be surprised if they didn't do DC at this point. Kind of given what they have, what's open to them. DC is just kind of your next strongest play after this loop. Ooh. Yo, I will never play with random colors on Mirror Shield, but that pink Mirror Shield is a beaut.
Yeah, Mirror Shield colors, I love them. Big fan.
Right? Well, my problem with Mirror Shield colors is that I have a hard enough time. I have a hard enough time already trying to figure out when you're like peeking down in lake or you're looking on the arch, like, is that Mirror Shield? Is that not Mirror Shield? I'm not sure. To then have to like have it be a random color and then decide like, is this Mirror Shield? I don't know. I'd probably lose a match for that. I'd be like, nah, it's not a Mirror Shield. That's something else. Okay, so it looks like Deku really only having that strength so far, which is huge. I mean, that's immediate force clearance right there. Really nice. So cool, getting the ground jump there. Yeah, and Word's pointing out in chat that, you know, at this point, Deku is in logic. Forest is not quite in logic yet, but Forest would give us our second medallion if we wanted to push Ganon's castle. Problem is that we haven't found Minuet, we haven't found Sarias yet.
Yeah, so that's another potential reason why not to dip Forest before doing something like Deku Tree. You're thinking it's out of logic, maybe it's supposed to be late in the seed and won't have much.
Okay, baby, what's on Goma?
Nothing at all.
Cole is like looking at bomb inventory, sees 3, and is like, yeah, okay, maybe I do want that.
He's like, you know, I ran out of sticks, I'm not going to run out of bombs.
It's so easy. Like, resource management is definitely a skill. And one that can easily, you know, trip you up if you're new. You know, running out of sticks, running out of Deku nuts. I run out of Deku nuts all the damn time. And so, like, Deku nut management and bomb management, like, it's definitely something you think about while you're playing these seeds.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, words, I'm not, like, saying don't do Forest now that you have everything to full clear it. I was more kind of saying, like, if you didn't have the strength, dipping it is, like, maybe not as exciting when you know it's out of logic to dip that. Now that you could full clear it in its progression, sure, why not? It's the super linear dungeon, like, get it out of the way, sure.
It's kind of like, but Ma, do I have to?
But the restream doesn't want to watch me do this.
I don't want to do it. That's just me being a whiny teenager. I deal with them a lot. I've gotten really good at being a whiny teenager.
Cool, coming out here, grabbing the skull, I guess.
We
almost at 20, I think.
Nothing else they can do out here, so it's gotta be.
Oh, he's
And
up
then
to
save quit from
21.
here. Save quit. Yep. There's really not even anything time of day that they need.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going down to, I guess the one in the Lost Woods, Sacred Forest Meadow,
Yeah, I guess you could get that one.
or the one in Kukiri Forest, maybe if you want to just grab those.
Yeah, if you're extra swaggy, you can get the one up here where the theater is, with the bow and hook shot. And then you can get the one in Sacred Forest Meadow that way. Oh, Cole, going for the swag. This is what you love to see. Oh, the pink bomb chew trail. There it is. So easy. Well, actually, it's not easy. There's a setup for it, and the setup's easy.
So this should give us some more good info, though, if we get maybe Saria's or Minuet up here.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is either Saria's or Minuet. Like, I'm almost to the point that I'm like, I will put cold hard channel points on this. I don't have any money, so you know it's about the next best thing. The question is, what is it? I'm putting money on Minuet. That's what I'm putting money on.
It's Epona's.
Epona's! Hello, Epona's. You're not in Logic yet. What the hell is on Ocarina of Time? And where the hell is the hint?
Yeah, I know. The seed does not want to tell us.
Come on!
These runners have checked quite a few hints, too.
We haven't seen Valley. Or the hint kind of off to this, like any of the three hints in Lake Hylia.
Yeah, Lake Hylia, both outside Deku. Medigoran, I don't think we saw.
Oh, we haven't seen outside Deku.
Yeah, Cola just skipped them.
So fountain hints get weird, right? Because it all just depends on where letter is. Like, if letter's locked, it just gets weird. I hate hint logic sometimes. Because, like, you have to be able to access the hint before you need the hint. If both hints can't be locked behind the item required that the hint is pointing to. In wonderful hint fashion. And the nice thing is, really, until we get that, whatever the trade item is, we're in no real urgency to get 40 skulls. You know, because apart from Shadow Temple, they can do everything else that the seed might ask of them.
Yeah, but Shadow's way of the hero, and it is 2 checks.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't do anything until you get that trade item anyway. So it's one of those, yeah, definitely routing skulls, but you're not like urgently like, I need 40 now.
No,
you know
but I'm saying 40 is the dins, so it would give you 2 checks before getting the hovers.
Totally.
So,
Totally.
You know, the seed could be a real jerk and put the way of the hero in the first 2.
Could you imagine? Yes, actually, I can. Having been somebody who's played a seed where hovers were, you know, French vanilla, seeds can be jerks that way. Oh, Felix. Why does it gotta be prescription? Why can't it be nice like claim check? Never claim check.
It is never claim check.
It's never claim check.
It's only claim check when it's dead.
Let's not get ourselves. But I think as chat's pointing out, that Din's Fire not only locks Way of the Hero Shadow, but could be our fire source to get Way of the Hero Wasteland.
Absolutely.
Because until we find fire arrows, that
so-
might be our fire source.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what our access to Wasteland is supposed to be either. Hovers are a long shot.
Playing Requiem and going the way that God intended, which is reverse.
Well, that's assuming it's not letter in Wasteland, because Jabu's locking that Requiem.
I feel like I have done reverse, like ever since playing Ocarina Randomizer and like learning reverse and forward Wasteland. I feel like I do reverse Wasteland so much more often than I do forward Wasteland. That's just the way that I know how to do Wasteland. It's just you go through the back door.
That's the normal way. That's the normal way, right?
Yeah, there's a ghost that leads you since when? Never. All things considered, though, it's a pretty healthy seed. And Cole is already at 9 hearts right now. We are just an hour in. And it looks like Hamsda's at 10.
Yeah, and overall, I'd say it's still pretty even. Maybe a slight edge to Cola, but Hamsda has done a few extra things like Domain and River.
I think that Boomerang is big for Hamsda now, but I think it's in a location that Cola will go to at some point early on.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Cola didn't go down the river, say, out of Deku Tree.
Yeah. And,
So-
honestly, I don't blame Cola for that. I mean, having access to an entire medallion dungeon right at your fingertips after finishing up Deku, I honestly probably would have rushed Force as well. And knowing that age changes aren't really that bad in this seed, having Prelude, like I feel like if I didn't have access to Temple of Time easily, I think I would have been more inclined to do a longer child. But having Prelude so accessible,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's so
yeah.
easy to focus into progression.
I think it's fine for progression. I think it's just like when you come out of this, you just need to make sure you're remembering you're not really in logic here. The opponents isn't really in logic, so like you gotta think back what's in logic to kind of push us back to where we need to be.
Yeah, totally. Hamsda showing us Adult Lake here.
Yeah, reading the sign just like me every time. I roll by it and I'm like, ah, yes, the fishing pond.
Oh yes. I've recently been looking at the fish. So I'll like roll in to talk to the guy, and instead I look at the fish. And it's like, thanks, game, for reminding me that I caught an 8-pounder.
Yeah, whereas it could be all dungeons bait, but I think it's still too early to tell. We don't know what song's out on Requiem Check. We don't know what song's in Ice Cavern. Plenty opportunity for Saria's or Minuet to be one of those.
It's kind of what it's looking like, is this weird logical web where it's probably going to be for forced access. Which is also why we're probably not finding a whole lot here, you know? Kind of like what you're saying, if this is meant to be a late or late dungeon, it's unsurprising that we aren't really finding a whole lot of items here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I hate whatever that bird is called.
Good old Toucan Sam, always getting in the way.
Goddamn worst. Almost item. Come on, baby. What is it? Oh,
Frogs too dead.
Come on, see?
Well, we hadn't seen that one before, at least.
True. I mean, I'll take it. You know, it's one of those always you gotta find sometime. There was one seed that I played that 30-ish minutes in, I had all 6 child hints and had not found the Frogs 2 hint yet. And I was in River, and I was like, do I just do Frogs 2? Like, is this a dumb idea? I feel like this is it was a dumb idea. I got nothing from it.
But I have all the songs.
I had all the
try,
songs! And no hint!
Clearly it wants me to do it.
The seed was pointing towards Frogs 2. Just like today, it was pointing them towards well. Didn't mean that it was a good idea, but it certainly pointed there. Hey, buddy.
Great. We're validated.
How you doing?
Oh, there's a fire source.
You know, I looked away for 10 seconds. What did we find?
Fire arrows. Hamsda in the open grotto.
Oh. Hello, fire arrows.
He can't get to the wasteland yet because he doesn't have the Eponas, but...
So what you do is you play Nocturne. You line yourself up against the wall. You do some side hops. You do some backflips. And into where your shadow you go.
I think Beryl would approve of that one.
It's just a real shame, though. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do off of it. I mean, you want to go to Wasteland, but you can't get there.
I guess we're gonna check Graveyard.
Which, you know, I'm not opposed to it. It's a quick check.
This is fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hamster's being very thorough in each of his like time passes here.
Yeah.
Knowing that he has like Kakiri Sword, but choosing to do all of this first. Whereas Cola kind of just pushing the progression. Hey, I can beat Deku. Hey, I can beat Forest. Go, go, go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been finding more and more that pushing progression doesn't always work, but more often than not gives you a leg up. So that way when you hit endgame, again, endgame is still a nightmare, right? You got to navigate and try to figure out where your last items are. But at least you have progression on whoever you're playing against. It just gives you just that little bit of an advantage.
Classic Season 4 endgame. Well, I could go to GTG, Ice Cavern, Ganon, Stone Spirit. Ooh, jeez.
Oh, God. I had a seed. It was Ice Cavern, Fire, Water, and Well were my 4 options. Do you know what? My go mode was Frogs in the Rain in Zora's River. So I go in full clear fire, full clear water, full clear ice, do bottom of the well. I'm like, where the hell is my item? Just sitting there, Frogs in the Rain. I was like, God damn you.
Yeah, Chad, like, progression, it's always fine to just push progression, but I mean, sometimes in like this, it comes down to the luck of the rando. Is it going to be more of a jet seed where pushing progression is just, free to do and will lead you along the way, or, is being thorough in a way that like routes all of the checks in while you kind of go around the progression. Sometimes that saves you the time.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's so hard, especially when you are looking at like multiple copies of like multiple bows, multiple strengths, if we only do one hook shot, but there's 2 out there, sometimes you might not find the intentional one, but you find the one that will allow you to beat the seed. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. You don't, most seeds, you don't need a bomb bag to beat it. You just need some explosive. And so, even finding out of logic bomb shoots, like, go for it. You do you.
Yeah. Now, will we get Hamsda looking at these hints for us?
Please, baby. Please. I'm begging you. And Medallion Forest, proving once again that it's totally worthless and that you should never do it.
No. Medallion Forest, always barren. Stone Forest, that's where you go.
Damn qualifiers. Damn qualifiers.
Yeah, the other Lost Woods it. Felix. Cola never gonna see that, never gonna care, because Lost Woods already pretty much done.
Cola might get that one hint after doing Forest. If there is a time to go and do Deku Tree hints,
yeah,
it's Deku Tree. But if there's another good time, it's after you beat Forest Temple.
That's true.
Yeah, we know if Saria's song is on AD, it is not for Skull Kid. That we do know. Mind you, we still have no idea what's on AD.
No idea, and we still aren't sure if Mirror Shield is the true way the hero for Goron City.
No, we don't.
Alright, Phantom.
And
you got nothing.
Nothing. And no one's surprised that Medallion Forest is worthless.
So now if you're Cola, where do you go?
you say screw the hint, that's what you say.
Because you got Eponas now, so you could maybe make an easier run around the field. You've got a lot of child checks in River, Domain, Lake.
Yep. I could also see a Ganon's Castle play here.
Yeah, you got the 2 medallions. Looks like that's the choice.
There it is. And again, it's... I kind of hesitate here because it's the, do you push density knowing that you're out of logic, or do you try to stay in logic at this point and try to figure out, okay, what's my next progression? Because Forest isn't in logic right now. So Ganon's Castle is out of logic. GGG's out of logic.
Yeah, how far do you push out of logic here, thinking that it's gonna pay?
Yep. Yeah, and so, but I mean, chat pointing out, like, once you get that fire source, I think you push Wasteland. I mean, because it's a free item. You don't know what it is, but it's a free item.
You need it.
You know you need it.
Gives you more info.
Yep, exactly.
Like, what if it's a strength and you're like, oh, Spirit Temple.
Yeah, right? Which, I mean, come on, if that's a strength, you're just like, what the hell is the logic in this seed?
That's when you're like, man, I really wish this seed would have told me what's on AD.
Great hookshot extension, though. Love that.
Hey, another bomb bag.
Hey, shout outs. So what do we think is the next logical dungeon here? We know where Ring is, so all we're missing for Jabu is letter.
Yeah, we just need letter there.
Fire. We've got bow, explosives, hookshot. So all we're really missing is hammer. Possibly hovers.
Yeah, fire doesn't really matter because it's barren, so...
I'm just thinking, like, if we're digging in here for 2 medallions, and we find something. What was that second dungeon that let us come in here?
What was the second? Yeah, it could be just a hammer somewhere. It could just be the letter somewhere. Those would be the easiest.
Yeah. Because I think that's kind of where, a little understanding of where you're at in the logic and where you left logic helps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should not have done forest.
Okay, there's iron.
Iron boots.
So it wasn't water.
Okay, so everyone scratch water off the list of what was your second medallion. Water was not it. You know what I mean? So it just like gives you information of just like where did I leave logic? What items are just sitting out there right this very second that would give me access to a second dungeon.
Yeah, it could just be like long shots sitting out somewhere, which lets you cross to get to Wasteland.
Totally. But again, like that gives you information of like, okay, what checks should I start looking at if I'm looking for a long shot, or if I'm looking for a hammer, or if I'm looking for, ring or letter. Also, please pick up blue fire. It's just asking to be gotten.
Yeah. It's too bad. No Maweep skip gonna happen in these settings. Not yet. Doesn't pick it up, but maybe Big Poe first. It's the only bottle, so maybe preferring to get a Big Poe.
Maybe bugs? Yeah, bugs possibly. Big Poe possibly. You're right. Like both of those are strong hot possibilities.
This might be like a get Big Poe, clear Hyrule Field play here.
Yeah.
Or not. Every time I think I figured out Polar, he's like, nope.
He's like, nah, fam, I ain't doing it. But see, like, I'm gonna try to channel my inner Cola here. Channeling my inner Cola.
It has to be like River Domain Lake now.
I think so. Pick up skulls along the way.
Or possibly, I don't think he's done bowling or the castle fair either, so.
No. And I think this is like, get your fire source because they're hoping to then use opponents to cross into the wasteland here soon enough. And this is like a guaranteed fire source.
Yeah. Rang is on frogs in the rain.
That's my, I don't know, noise.
Well, we've got Hamsda continuing to be thorough to stay in logic.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the correct call, seeing Forest gave us nothing.
Jeez, Seed. I mean, what's left? Like 20.
I think it wants you to get 40 at this point and first 2 shadow.
I guess so. Let's waterfall has something here.
Yeah, strength. That's strength too, I think.
Oh,
Well, So Cola, what are you doing? Don't try it again.
No. Cola won a weekly. Or
I
won
know,
one of the
that's what I'm
qualifiers
saying. You're not getting it again.
by like 10 minutes. Yo, I was so mad about that. Also, where the hell is that Ocarina of Time hint? God.
Yeah, strength 2. Okay, so that lets you get another check in Goron City.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Hamsda goes like straight to Goron.
Straight
It's
to
great.
it.
Because it's your safe quit, right? You want to go to Forest anyway.
Yeah,
It's the
this right into
fastest way to get to Forest.
Perfect play here.
Yo, shout
And
outs.
maybe this clears up, seeing if Mirror Shield's the thing, or
Felix, we're almost like 90% certain this is somehow dumb logical AD for Forest access.
I'm
Like,
not convinced.
Burning Cack is gonna have Minuet, and Ocarina of Time is gonna have Starias, and it's just gonna be some garbo. Did you say you're not convinced?
I'm not convinced yet.
Ingle is hopeful. Can we get a pull? Because I'm on logical 80 train right now, and it sounds like Ingle is not.
I'm on it. One of them's out in Requiem.
Yeah.
But let's see, Goron City, can you pay us out with something better than that shield?
Come on, baby. No.
Uh-oh. All right, so shield or Dance Dad.
Which, where Sarias is.
Check the hint here. Check the hint here.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Come on. All right. So we're gonna get the forest play from Hamsda. Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely the right play from Hamsda here.
This is also gonna give him Eponas, which he has Fire Source plus everything to do Adult Spirit.
I'm dumping like, how many channel points am I dumping into this logical AD? A lot.
Yeah, that strength I think is a big swing here.
There's 1,000 channel points. This is a logical AD.
Strength plus the fire arrows. It's looking better now for Hamsda's thoroughness and logic.
It's just like, where is it? Where they at? Where are the items?
Listen, it's you get your 40, you get Dins, you get your letter out of Shadow, you beat Javu, you get Requiem, that gives you Minuet.
It gives you Song of Time.
Well, yeah, Song of Time, but
Bolero. Which means that you just bypass all of that. Right? You just take that opponent and you just ride across the... I mean, especially if you're Hamsda, right?
if you're Hamsda, I think you just ride out.
You just ride. You've got Strength 2, Hook Shot, Bow, GTG access. You just go.
I think you just straight Wasteland, get whatever that Way of the Hero is, and then you can get the song out at Spirit to try and decipher a little more of the logic, and maybe you're pushing this Mirror Shield Way of the Hero there.
Yeah, I think you just rock it. So until then, we've got another 15 minutes of Hamsda doing Forest before we actually have to commit to whatever we think Hamsda's doing.
Go get a drink.
Sound nice.
Everybody relax. We got Hamsda chilling in Forest, and Kola probably just gonna go down the river, rehash some of the things Hamsda's already done.
And that ring is going to be real nice for Kola, because it looks like Kola's really pushing skulls at this point.
Yeah, can't blame him for pushing skulls when you don't know where the fire arrows are. And I mean, you need to get it in Shadow
No,
anyway, and maybe.
buddy, no, come back.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe he just. Well.
there he goes.
All right.
He's like, I'll hold up. There it is.
I can't figure out what Cola's about to do next. Cola can't figure out what he's about to do next.
Cola cornered us.
So, I mean, the real question is, when does Cola go out to Valley now? That's a bit out of his way.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, well, maybe he runs the field, but he has Epona, so it's more enticing to do that as adult.
I mean, the one nice thing is if you line up time of day, that's 2 skulls in Valley that you can get. Which is nice.
Yeah. Valley skulls, maybe into a lake skull there.
I don't know. The one thing I hate about it always sucks doing 40 skulls, no Sun Song. Just a pain in the neck.
I had a scene just like last week where, God, was it 40 or 50 had something for Shadow. And Shadow's the forest medallion, and the whole time I'm just like, I'm gonna beat Shadow and it's gonna give us Sun Song. I'm gonna beat Shadow and we're gonna get and beat Shadow. There's Sun Song.
Hey, there's Sun Song.
Thanks, game.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Cola getting their boomerang here. It's gonna feel so nice.
Yep.
If nothing else, there's just one less item you need to worry about. Like, Boomerang loves to be a late game item.
Yeah, exactly, too. Whereas if there was any doubt whether or not 40 Skulls was in Logic right now for him, he's like, yep, it's 100% in Logic.
Because that bottle is technically out of Logic. Which is just lovely. Just dandy. Okay, Cola, where are you going? Is this an adult play? This is an adult play. I was about to say, if Cola wanted to do Valley, the fastest way to get there is Serenade, Catch the Owl. Put you in front of the castle just a little bit faster than Prelude.
Yeah, but again, I think this might be more of a ride Epona, get Big Poe, clear the field.
Also, I don't know if you saw Hamsda's jump there, but had this weird, just like collision that Hamsda just did this massive jump over the first gap.
I should have caught it.
It was pretty cool. Chickens. Hamsda's done chickens.
Chickens was one whole Deku stick.
Woo!
And yeah, fire is completely barren, so we're not going in there until we get a hammer.
Yep. No point going any earlier than you need to. Sorry, yawning at Forest Temple. I looked over at Hamsda's screen and I got tired all of a sudden.
Morning, Melrose. The seed is it's a seed.
We are pretty certain we're logically bottlenecked at 40 skulls to Din's Fire to some item in Way of the Hero Shadow. First 2 checks is about where we're at.
Yeah, so Din's on 40, Hovers on Begoron.
Yep.
Shadow Temple's Way of the Hero.
Forest is out of logic because no Minuet, no Sarias, per usual. Yeah, we're just chilling. We're just having fun. Oh, and Mirror Shield for Stone Spirit was in Way of the Hero Goron City, and it's the only item we found so far. Woo! We're doing great. The only check they have left is Dancing Darunia and no Sarias, so, we can't do that anytime soon.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, between the two runners, I think all we have left in logic is the first two of Shadow, right?
Yeah, well, so Words pointed out, so 20 we haven't seen yet. 30 is dead, 20. 40, we've seen Dampe, and then those two in Shadow. Yeah, that's it.
I guess I just assumed Cole had already checked it because he's already, like...
Oh, nobody's checked 20 yet. So 20 very easily could just have our progression.
Yeah, the long shot on 20 or something could be it.
Yep. Because Epona's was the Minuet check, so that's out of logic. Beating Forest is out of logic, so the Iron Boots and the bottle that we got were both out of logic. It's not going to stop us from doing anything else in the seed, so, shout outs, but... Yeah, we're just, who needs logic in this seed?
Way of the Heroes, Goron City, Haunted Wasteland, Shadow Temple, and we don't know the fourth.
Haven't seen the fourth, and we have no idea what's on Ocarina of Time. No idea! It could be anything that we haven't already gotten. And not Requiem, because we know it's not Requiem. Requiem's behind Force Medallion. Oh, it's Felix's seed!
Yep.
Should have known. Okay, so this is going to be real good for Cola. Cola's going to get their fire arrows here, assuming that they do at least a few checks in field.
There's no way he skips these two checks.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's literally the open grotto when he rides out.
Assuming you just do 2 checks in field, and he's already gotten bombs, so I think it's going to happen, folks. The one downside is that Cola is going to have to somehow find a way for them to die when they go do River, assuming that they do the Bomb 2 strat as well as, jump to the waterfall. They'll want Strength 2, and then either have to use Iron Boots or Double Defense. No, you use Iron Boots at that point. 12 hearts? God. You can't. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Melrose, I'd probably just go right by their names.
Yeah.
Seems fine enough.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, shout outs. I have loved that pronouns have been put on stream. One, because I think it's so cool that we're getting better at using people's pronouns. And 2, as a commentator, oh god, it's so nice that I just need to look up and be like, oh yeah, he, him pronouns. Done. Takes the thinking out. Oh, love it.
Absolutely. Every time I see a new runner, I'm like, uh-oh.
I know, right? Well, because names like
what do you
Cola.
go back?
How the hell are you supposed to know what, like, Cola's another name for a soft drink. Like, what do you want from me?
Well, the Coca-Cola company here, riding opponents.
Riding. Oh, jeez. Well, you should just tell Words that they should have a shorter name. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. No, I think Cola is making the absolute right play here. Valley. Oh, go for it.
No, I'm just continuing. Like, you know, you're getting away the hero item, so.
Yeah, well, especially with those fire arrows. Like, real good placement there. Fire arrows.
You're riding right past those silver.
Oh, they might. They might be rush. I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say, if you're rushing, why would you do field checks? God, I don't know. It's always interesting to see what checks people think are important and what ones they think aren't as important. Because if you're gonna do Valley, now is the time to do Valley. If you do not do Valley now, you just like don't do Valley. Because at this point, Wasteland, like it's calling. But they are two relatively fast. Well, 12 hearts though.
Yeah, it's not as fast to get that waterfall.
Yeah,
I can see just tossing the chew to see what the box is. But...
The other thing that I've seen is that people will go do GGG, save quit, and then go do Valley, and if they find nothing, then you just reset.
Yeah, I think save quitting would be the good play. Yeah, looks like Cola's gonna do horseback first, at least. So not immediately rushing off.
Yeah, and again, that's why I think it's strange that they're doing horseback archery, but not doing Valley. Again, like I understand that Valley
it might be the GTG, save in there and check and.
I think so, honestly. As they're slowly just getting more health. Oh God, this is gonna suck when they finally get strength 2. Oh no! And Hamsda is almost out of Forest Temple.
So close.
Oh, praise be. And honestly, probably not that far behind Cola at this point because I think they've done basically the same checks at this point, except for Cola has done Ganon's Castle.
Yeah, Ganon's Castle versus Hamsda having the silvers.
Yeah, I think that's like it. Because I think Hamsda at this point, when they're done, I wouldn't be surprised if they serenade and just book it out to GGG Haunted Wasteland. They've already got fire arrows, strength 2. Like it just makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it just gives you so much more info to get your way of the hero item out here.
Yeah. Oh, Hamsda. We've all been there. When you go to backflip and Link's like, I really did want to grab onto that elevator.
Oh, yeah. Every time he grabs, I'm like, what are you doing?
Come on, buddy. Oh, there's another heart container!
Stop checking these.
Fuck!
just go. Are we gonna get a full GTG here?
I think.
This is. I don't know if I would full clear this here.
Again, it's just it's surprising what things Cola is choosing to invest time in and what things Cola is choosing not to invest time in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like you're still out of logic.
Shrink 2 is in Waterfall, Melrose. Yeah. And again, like even if there was nothing in Valley, you kind of ask yourself, when do I do it? So, I don't know. That's the question that's always burning in my mind. Let's drown with a 2-minute timer. I think at that point you just serenade and ride Epona again. I think that might almost be faster. Hamsda checking 20, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's one of our few things that's in logic, so I think it's a very good check to make right now.
Yep. I think so.
Yeah, one of the 3 in logic, so see if the
Mm-hmm.
seed wants you to get this, or
40.
Yeah, or if it really just wants the dins.
Come on, baby. Just be prescription.
All right, dins it is.
Oh, damn.
First to a shadow.
Okay, baby. First 2 checks in Shadow Temple. And now I would just be like, screw it. Like, I'm going to GGG. Like, logic, you're not the boss of me. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah, but like, if you're Hamsda here, I think it's just go straight to the Wasteland chest. Don't do GTG.
Oh, yeah. Go see what's in the Wasteland first. And then make a call from there. I absolutely agree with that.
Because we're not missing a whole ton here. I guess Hamsda doesn't have the iron boots yet either. Has no idea where those are.
So I guess my question then is, you go Wasteland, right? You get something dumb like Hammer. You go, God. Do you turn around and go GGG? Do you keep going to Spirit and get the song out there? Like,
I think for Hamsda it's Spirit, because again, Mirror Shield is 50-50 that's way of the hero right now.
like Cola totally makes sense, right? You don't have Strength 2. There's nothing else you can do. So you might as well do GGG. That's it. Like, going to Wasteland is the end of the road. For Hamsda, you've got Mirror Shield, you've got Strength 2, you've got ZL, you've got Bow, you've got Hookshot. Like, you've got everything you need to go do Spirit. Assuming you find a key, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, do you just push the Spirit after you do Wasteland, or do you turn around and go do GGG first? Well, and the problem with the way the hero hammer checks is that Fire's barren.
And we're out of the other 2.
Yeah, we've already done. The only one that we haven't done is DMC Fairy. That's it, Death Mountain Crater Fairy.
Oh yeah, okay, Death Mountain Crater Fairy is possible.
But we've got a hint about Valley. We've already checked the other one with Strength 2, so, you know, there's just not a whole lot. So get your bets in chat right now. What is in the Wasteland? I am going to say sand. Long shot, letter. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a string.
I'm going to say hammer.
Hammer's a good one. Hammer's a good one. Oh, there's now something going on in there. But string.
Cola.
Come on, baby. Come on, Cola.
Line it up. Yeah, Cola coming here didn't opt to check Valley. Don't know when he's gonna go back to that.
Yeah. It's fine, baby. You got plenty of hearts. No rush.
Look, he's manipulating his heart count. So
Cola, you got 30 tries at this. Take as much time as you need, baby. You got this. I definitely have never done a setup for this. I just eyeball it. There you go.
Yeah, I always just eyeball that little side there.
Let's go, Cola.
Let's find out.
Naked Wasteland is not something you do very often, but like when you need it, it pays out in spades. And it's like, Hamster, where'd you going? Skulls.
Yeah, Skulls is fine. Still gotta get to that 40.
Full support of grabbing these 2 skulls. It's so fast, and his time of day was so nice for it.
Yeah, lined up really well for him.
Oh yeah, totally. 31.
31 to what, 29 or so, pretty even. And it's letter.
Ladder.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay. What the hell?
Okay, so again, we know that Dins is what we want for our logic here to get the first 2 of Shadow. Now,
shit.
The first 2 of Shadow could just be like prescription, which gets you hovers, which gets you out here.
We don't have lens yet.
We don't need lens to get there.
Oh, you dirty. So what you're saying is, we get 40 to go to Shadow to get something.
It could be long shot. It could be the thing for hovers.
No, because
right?
we can't get out here without long shot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It could be long shot in the first 2 of Shadow.
I think it's long shot in first 2 of Shadow. You
Like
go
it's
there,
that,
you get
or...
long shot. Long shot lets you crossing. Well, get you across the bridge and also get you to the wasteland, which gets you letter, which then gives you Jabu, which then gives you Requiem, which will then open up something.
Yeah. Or like Felix said, it could be like the trade item, which gets you hovers, which lets you beat Shadow, and Shadow has long shot. One way or another, it looks like it's something like that to get you out here. I'm thinking this is one of the forest songs gonna be out here.
Oh, I feel that too. Or it could just be Bolero.
Well, about to
We'll
see.
find out. It's
You got it.
Let's go. This scene is a nightmare. Also, I think I'm getting channel points for it being a logical cluster.
All right, what's the hint say? What? Tell us. Spirit Temple's on the way. It's the way. If you're Cola, you come out all the way here, and you're like,
God,
what?
Hamsda. And again, Cola's missing River.
Well, Valley. He doesn't have
Just
Valley
River
for
and
the
a
strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when does he go back to that? This is looking really good for Hamsda here.
Oh, jeez. Words, they don't have logical anything right now.
Listen, just get to 40 and we'll...
Just do the thing. Yeah, and for Hamsda, I mean, getting that hinge, Spirit's Way of the Hero, is going to be fantastic. And also, you can use that opportunity to get yourself some skulls in Spirit Temple.
Yeah, that's... Assuming there's a key on adult side, that's perfect for Hamsda, because instead of having this questionable, like, is Spirit, like, just for AD? What do I do? You're just straight up told Spirit Way of the Hero.
Yeah, next to Spirit. Like, they can't make it more obvious of, like, hey, remember that one time that you wanted to do Spirit Temple? Yeah. But, like, go do Spirit Temple.
Yeah, so Hamsda, get out of here. Come on.
I know. What are you doing, Hamsda? You're wasting our time.
I mean, this is followed what he's been doing all seed, though, is being thorough as he goes along through his route.
Yeah, and again, like, the being thorough, yes, can slow you down, but, you know, it only takes your opponent missing one check in being hasty that wins you the seed.
Yeah, but at what point do you say, okay, I've been really thorough now, it's time to step on the gas?
That's always. I mean, that's the $1 million question. Like, if you can answer that, I think so many Suitor runners will just like praise your name.
Oh, but it's easy in the commentator booth.
Oh man. Yeah. So to Words' point, it can't be prescription unless we have access to blue fire, which either means Ganon's castle is open, Ice Cavern is open, or 2 wallets to buy blue fire.
Well, we did see one wallet.
We did see one.
All right, wallet and prescription in the first 2 of Shadow.
Yeah, assuming Longshot is in Shadow and Din's on 40, that gives us blue fire access, so it can be something like prescription. In case you wanted to do Water Temple, there's your Sword Tunic.
Yeah, so we still need to figure out what's the thing in Shadow. We gotta get Longshot, we gotta get the trade sequence item, we gotta get Hammer, and we do still need light arrows. There's a wallet, but that's not in logic right now.
No. It is when you put in Longshot. Well, when you put in Longshot, you already have letter anyways.
Yeah, if you have Longshot, you have letter.
That's not in logic. That's basically everything that we've done in the last like hour at this point. Let's go. There's a wallet, but that's not in logic.
Yeah, Melrose, and he is going to get Requiem from beating this, so that would make Child Spirit his play. I mean, maybe Child Spirit is what pays out. It's not likely with the Mirror Shield.
Yeah, assuming Cola doesn't get bailed out by finding Strength 3.
He could get bailed out with that too, in like Jabu or something.
Yeah. I mean, we've already seen matches earlier in S4. The one that I'm specifically thinking of is the Bono Felix one, where there was just a boat just sitting in Jabu, and it. If we only need 2 out of 3 strengths here, possibly we might need a third.
We might need a third, not the most likely right now.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm curious to see what Jabu has at this point.
Yeah, or if this GTG play pays out with like light arrows or something.
It's not looking like it though. And again, like I agree with you. Hams has been playing very, I'd want to say conservative so far, and very efficient routing, but very thorough routing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that Hamsda would do GTG at this point, given all the other plays that Hamsda has made so far. And again, not knowing that Spirit's Way of the hero, because of course it's got to be a bastard that way, and put the hint all the way out next to Spirit Temple. But I see why Hamsda's doing what they're doing.
Yeah, it's tough right now because, again, you don't know if this Mirror Shield is just made for in all dungeons.
Well, it's really starting like that without Sarias or Minuet.
Again, one of them could just be an Ice Cavern.
True.
It might clear up a little bit here when Cola beats Jabu. If he goes to check Burning Kakariko as well, if we see one of them there.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I just counted keys and recognized that toilet's an item at this point.
Sure is. How thorough you want to be there?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. It's just like, okay, how thorough are we being here?
I'm out. He's
Yeah,
out
he's
too.
he's not being that thorough.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have irons either.
No,
He
no
doesn't.
irons. You're right. Cola had irons walking into GGG. Hamsda does not. But
Yeah.
shout outs for when Ganon goes, "You'll never find my light arrows," and GGG, and you go, "Ah, shit."
But again, I guess that leads more into like why Hamsda might check all of that because he's also missing iron boots.
Yep. I think Hamsda easily goes into Desert Colossus. And I think it's going to pay out really nicely having that strength already, seeing that hint and going, oh, okay, sure. Yeah, words. And there's always that option of just knowing that Jabu completion gets you Requiem, so just going and doing Jabu.
Yeah, you could choose to just immediately prelude upon getting the letter.
I think there's value in both.
Yeah, honestly, in his position, I kind of like just immediately preluding because you're getting your progression, you're getting 2 more songs.
Yeah.
Which one of which is Requiem?
See, and I think I would continue on and do the checks, get the song, get the hint, because I'm still looking for extra hints at this point. Possibly even get a skull while you're out here.
All right, continuing on.
So I don't. Again, I can see arguments for both. I think at this point it's runner's choice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hamsda's doing fantastic in skulls. And they're gonna get a few more in spirit if they dip. If they choose to dip.
I mean, once he sees that hint, he's definitely seeing if it's a small key on adult side.
Totally. Which at least, if not, that's 1 skull with Song of Time. If Time of Day works out, you can grab this one here by the ferry, which is nice. Except for this one by the ferry is a pain in the ass to get sometimes. It looks like they have enough time. Yep, they're going for it.
Ugh, I hate this one. The levers.
I hate this one.
Just leave me alone, levers.
Nice shot.
Nice backflips to get them away from him, too.
Ma, the levers aren't leaving me alone. Oh, he's just like, oh, hell no, I'm not getting that.
He's like, well.
That is a lost cause. I swear, Hamsda, if you do not grab the hint right now. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. God damn you.
Is he just
Hamsda.
I mean, I guess it's fine if he clears this.
I mean, it's fine that you're doing Way of the Hero Spirit. It just is so sad that the hint's just right there. Hamsda, it's right there.
Meanwhile, Cola just making good time here in Jabu. Can Baronade be the ultimate bailout in a strength?
Oh, could you imagine? I can't actually. I can't imagine Baronade just having strength.
Oh, boss key. Felix, please, you've done enough. Give the man a small key.
And what is it? What's on Baronade? Choose.
More choose.
Yeah, which is, again, why I'm surprised when you're missing an Ocarina of Time hint, a Way of the Hero hint, that you wouldn't check that hint just quickly.
There's the key.
Oh, thank God. Because I don't know when you would come back and do Child Spirit. I mean, maybe the Mirror Shield, but without that Way of the Hero hint, it's a lot harder to justify, like, coming.
Well, the Mirror Shield is like a pseudo Way of the Hero, right?
Yeah.
Oh, was that Saria's on an OOT?
Oh, there it is, baby.
Was that what that said? It was Saria's or Sun's, I think. Saria's. Okay. So, if we need Dance Dad, there's still a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Oh, there's the light arrows.
Oh,
That's not the
hey.
Way of the Hero here, though.
Not Way of the Hero, light arrows. What are you doing? Silly light arrows.
Silly light arrows, you're supposed to be on Dance Dad.
Yeah, I know. Come on. See, now I really want to see what the Burning Cack song is. Just play Nocturne. Play Nocturne.
Doesn't want to know.
Play Nocturne. Damn it.
It's either Burning Kakariko or Ice for Minuet.
Yeah. Totally support this from Cola. No Strength 2, knowing Spirit's Way of the Hero. You go do it as child. Absolutely.
Yeah, but we do know he's 100% gonna have to come back to adult side because of those light arrows.
Strength in Spirit would be such a blessing and such a curse all at the same time. And what? Oh, bugs. I thought he was finding beans. I was like,
If it's Strength 2 and Child Spirit, that's gonna be so bad for him because then he's gonna go adult and get the light arrows and be like, all right, everything checks out.
yeah. It's one of those that you're just like, because if something's Strength 3 locked, you're hosed. But if not, you got so bailed out. And so it's so hard to tell.
But I mean, if Strength's the only true Way of the Hero in here, then it is Strength 3.
Yeah.
So,
Totally. Again, this is all speculation land. And again, like for Hamsda, this is a great play because you need skulls anyway, and that's 3 skulls right there. Even before you go do Jabu, they're at 36. Jabu puts them at 40. You're done, and you get checks along the way. So it's kind of a win-win in that aspect. So I really like this from Hamsda, and also it's Way of the Hero, so that's nice too.
oh, Purple, nothing's wrong with the speed. It's all great. 40 skulls for Dins. We need to find the trade item to get big Oron for hovers.
Hovers.
We're still out of logic here. It's all great.
We don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
All right, was the mirror shield for this one?
Oh,
Yes.
that was cool. And hello, Hammer.
All right, so mirror shield, way of the hero for the hammer.
For one of 3 mirror shield lock checks. Shout outs. And not bailed out. I like that though. Mirror immediately turns around and gets Goron Tunic.
Okay, so now you're Hamsda. What do you need? Just iron boots, and you know there's something in shadow.
Yep. So you go do Jabu, you get your 40.
So that means we know. Oh, also long shot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go to Jabu, get your 40, get your Dins, go to Shadow, do your 2 checks, go from there. Would be my route if I was Hamsda after doing Spirit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, do you actually kill Twin Rova here, or do you just, like, set the thing and bail out? Because you're going to get Requiem anyway.
I think you just drop it. Go do the next 2 tracks, drop it, use the mirror to open up the phase, and then GTFO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because if you really need AD, you will know that you need AD, and it's 1 boss, because you've already got 2 stones. Saria Song is on all dungeons, meaning grab the 3 stones, get the Ocarina.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tempting, though. Kill Twin Rova, go Chow, beat Jabu, get the thing.
Yeah, you know...
It kind of covers all your bases, but ooh, Sun Song is burning Kakariko, so it's not AD for
What?
forest access.
Damn it! My
Nice
channel
turn.
points! Okay, that's big information.
All right, and Cola gets the Dins. So we'll see first 2 Shadow. Ice isn't in logic yet.
Yeah,
But Forest didn't give us anything, so...
I like putting hard money on long shot in these first 2 checks. Yeah, first 2 in Shadow still are only logical checks.
I mean, I guess Forest did give us the Ponos. So it still could be logical AD.
We could get Minuet the second we have Letter.
Yeah, but I'm saying if, like, this is just the trade item for hovers and...
Yeah, because if we wanted to avoid AD... Well, hopefully there's a long shot in the next 2 checks. I still have no idea what's going on.
If it's not long shot in these 2 checks, it could still be AD.
It could still be AD for something wacky. Well, but we have to get Letter somehow.
Well, you'd get...
Or Lens. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. It's probably just long shot.
It's probably just long shot. Let's not kid ourselves.
It's claim check.
Or it's...
Now long shot could still just be in shadow.
Oh God. Oh jeez. Okay, so you go and get hovers. Cool. Now what?
Beat shadow. Long shot could just be in here.
No, that's true. That's less fun.
It's less fun, but it makes the most sense at this point.
Okay, so are we in no mode? Do we know everything? No, we don't have long
I mean,
shot.
we don't know where
Well-
long shot is. It could. There could be a strength in here too that could bail Cola out.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna need strength too.
So Cola just run through Shadow, hope you get long shot and strength.
Yep. Yeah, so there's really not a whole lot of anything else that we can find here. So we know where everything is. Except for long shot. Long shot could be wacky.
It could be wacky, like where it says here, water gets put into logic by beating Shadow. So there's two options left.
Yeah, the only thing that can get real crazy. Hi, Lens.
Oh. Well.
What? Okay, so that's a thing.
That's a thing, but I'm pretty sure it's just not going to be anything. It's not in logic.
Yes.
I think where the letter was.
True.
Is like pushing it to be logical. Well, it's pushing it to be long shot either in Shadow or water or like gold gauntlets for Ganon's. It's pushing it to like one of those.
It could be another strength in here for long shot in Ganon's castle. That's like everything else. The only thing that we have left in logic at this point is Shadow Temple. We do not have access to that letter yet. So I'm very doubtful that we're gonna find long shot anywhere else.
It's here water or Ganon's.
Yeah. Oh, and shout outs that Lens and Spirit means that we had to get Requiem to cross the wasteland. Or at least to do Spirit, because we wouldn't have been able to cross the wasteland otherwise.
Yeah, technically.
Yep. Such a mess. Such a hot mess.
As we now get to see how awful Fire Temple is going to be for us.
Mm-hmm. And the nice thing for Hamsda is that the more terrible it is, the more skulls they can pick up.
Yeah. You get to 40, get the Dins, get the Hovers.
You get the Hovers before you go Child. It's not a bad trade-off, to be honest.
Yeah, and if you get the long shot, you beat water, then you can make Jabu the last one.
Yeah. Except for they don't have irons at this point, so they will have to go get irons.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And that kind of blows. Well, Ganon's castle is dense enough. I think it'll be something that Hamsda does earlier rather than later. But Hamsda might be in that position where they're missing one item. And going, where the hell is my go mode item?
Yeah, it's like Hamsda needs to go get those irons in Ganon's, and Cola needs either to go Valley or get a different strength, and I think it's more likely the other strength.
Or get hella bailed out, right?
Well, so like we didn't see a strength being strength locked in Spirit, which looks, a lot better for Cola then. That maybe you just find it in Shadow, or I guess potentially it's in water.
Words. That is what we are speculating. That this is not a logical AD, and that the Mirror Shield was just for Hammer and a Mirror Shield lock check. We're going to see the skull here. Oh, yeah, baby, let's go.
Nicely done.
Such a swag strat.
We got a room of bomb shoes here in Shadow.
Yeah, so again, we're like 90% certain Shadow's going to have something that leads to our long shot, but we haven't seen anything so far. We're about halfway done. So I'm curious to see kind of how deep it is here in Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, again, it could just be in water as well.
Oh, true. True.
Or, did we check Tektite Grotto? Is that a thing that was done by either runner?
I want to say yes, but I don't remember. No, you only need hookshot for Shadow Temple, logically.
Iron Boots were validation chest in Ganon's.
Because even if you don't know the trick to get onto the chest and then hookshot up, what you can do is you can hookshot onto the platform and then hover across to the door. Which means that hookshot is available without having to do any shenanigans.
Well, Bitsy, we've logically cleared Deku, and now we'll logically clear Shadow here. So that puts Ganon's into play, which means water could hold it.
True. Because this would be the second medallion, logically, that we would be getting.
Yep.
God. Who had Shadow Temple as second logical medallion?
Definitely not what I was expecting when we started this.
You know, because we're sitting there asking, you know, as we're climbing through Ganon's castle, like, okay, what's the second medallion? Deku's obviously the first. What's the second?
We were like, early Jabu, probably.
Maybe Jabu, maybe Fire. No, it was just Shadow Temple. Oh, man. Hamsda, still no boss key. But again, no boss key for Hamsda is actually good for Hamsda. Because we know Kola has to do all these checks, but will not benefit from also getting skulls in Barren Fire.
Yeah, so this is perfectly fine for Hamsda.
Yeah, so in fact, this is going to save time on Kola because they can do fire more efficiently.
Yeah, you're not happy about having to run all the way up, but you're getting skulls, so it's fine.
Yeah, and you know that your opponent has to do the same thing, so it's not like you're losing time by doing fire, like deep fire.
Yep, words the manager, as we like to call him, is holding a key in the back.
The manager, huh?
This little thing popped up on Spike's stream. You know, when you're looking for something in Shadow and you just don't find it, so you got to go all the way to the back to the floor master. Gotta ask the manager, sir. Do you have anything in the back here?
Excuse me, sir. Damn, how deep does fire want us to go?
All the way.
All the way, apparently.
It was just like, okay, I got enough skulls.
I know, right? I can get the 40th one later on, like, I don't need 40 here, thanks.
Cola.
Oh,
Why? You're just being swaggy?
No, I think he's despawning the second one. Is he, or did he kill both of them?
I didn't see if he killed one or two, or if he's just
I don't know. I was watching
memeing
fire.
on it.
Fire was more important to me at the moment. Sorry, Cola. Rock chalk. Yo, it freaks me out when people stand on the bell. Oh, man. I don't even know anymore. I've watched way too many Siege recently.
Yeah, fire was barren though, so Pierre should not have been hit.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There's the boss key.
Yeah, you gotta go up to Pierre. Plus, it's a skull. That gets you to 40.
All right, though. Bongo, last chance in Shadow.
Oh, let my people go. Bye, Goron.
Yeah, I love that so far the only way of the hero for Shadow was the claim check to get the hovers.
Which, again, kind of like what chat's saying, if you're reading the logic of the seed, water temple's not a bad idea.
I mean, at this point, I'm thinking water just has the long shot. Cola.
Hi, Cola. Yo, we laugh, but I did that. I crossed the waist. I did reverse wasteland, right? And I pull out my hook shot as Link takes one extra step, and I'm pulling out the hook shot as I'm sinking into the quicksand. I'm like, God damn it. And had to cross the wasteland again. Actually, it was in my Baby Dodongos match against Rockshock, and I lost. Shoutouts to that match, and me losing.
You hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
And yeah, again, logically, so irons were in Ganon's. So we've got a hook shot, we've got irons. We can go into water after beating this logically.
Oh my god, Fire. Calm down.
Let's see, Bongo, do you have our long shot or are we carrying on?
Yeah, and again, for Hamsda, so nice. Just walk straight to, oh god.
Not here.
You go straight to Shadow Temple.
Oh, I just thought of something else we didn't check.
Huh.
Remember when Hamsda was in GTG?
You talking about
That's
toilet?
not yeah, it's not in logic though. Because we needed Eponas.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that. It's probably water.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. We have no access. We have no logical access to get across the wasteland. There it is. Straight into water.
Can we get vanilla long shot?
Shadow Trial 2? Oh, God. Shit. I forgot about that check.
Did we not check Shadow 2 when we were...
No, didn't have fire arrows.
Oh, he didn't have fire arrows at the time.
No, that hadn't been filled yet.
Alright, so it could be Shadow 2. Could be water. We think maybe the ATZ grotto wasn't checked, so maybe...
Yep. And again, this is where keeping track of your logic really helpful. You know, we were able to do some, cheeky things like GGG early and, Jabu early, but we're looking for that long shot and knowing what we have done in logic and what we haven't done in logic.
Oh, early boss key, though. That's bad for Cola. Because now he's gonna go Child Spirit because he knows it's Way of the Hero, right?
He already did Child Spirit.
Did he?
Locked out.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Then where's he going? What are we doing?
That's my I don't know
Valley?
face.
Is this the
Valley?
Valley play? Is he thinking like, that's my logic? Yeah,
I guess
looks like
so.
it.
Hamsda showing off bomb chews. Love this strat.
Yep, the old 8 choose plus Bigoron sword, or 9 if you don't have it.
Oh, Hamsda. Baby, you were so close on that. Yep, Northern Field. Also, I totally missed it. Abby Normal 33, thank you so much for the subscription.
Did neither of them check this boulder?
Really appreciate it. God, I was like, if they haven't checked this boulder, then they deserve the last location long shot. Yep, Hamster's gonna go straight to Shadow, up to Big Goron, back to Shadow. Full clear Shadow at that point.
Alright, not an ATZ Grotto. So, looking like Water Temple.
Yep.
Still,
Water or Shadow Trial 2.
Yeah, Shadow 2. Still looks pretty close between the two runners. Because Cole is going to grab the strength here and put him back on the right track.
Yep. So that'll take him out to Spirit. Spirit will get his hammer. I think they're both going to be walking out of their respective dungeons with 5 medallions at about the same time.
And if they're following the logic, they can kind of piece together where Longshot has to be.
I would be surprised with how aggressive Cole has been playing if Cole beat Twin Roba. I'd be surprised if Cola went beyond Hammer, to be honest.
Yeah, because again, like, if he's, you know, thinking about the logic, you're like, well, Longshot's, it's not here because all of this is locked behind Longshot.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's hard to say. Hard to say right now.
It's hard to say because, again, it's, you know, you're 2.5 hours into this run doing all this stuff. Like, do you really remember piecing together all of this crazy logic?
And we're officially in, late game where they're each missing really one to two items. So Hams is missing irons and long shot. And Cola is missing hammer and long shot. And that's it. So, they're missing one or two, they're each missing 2 items a pop. And this is where you start to look at your, the entirety of the locations you've got left and going, okay, what makes the most sense? And I think logic helps us out the most here, where we know that long shot just has to. I mean, there's so few options where long shot can be. It's kind of crazy how much these two runners are going to converge here.
No, it's not logical 80 for Forest because you get long shot gets you the letter, which then you could go to ice to get Minuet.
Hamsda goes right back in. I still can't believe Shadow is just damn claim check. Come on, Shadow.
I said it at the beginning. I was like, is it really first two to get your hovers? Leave it to Felix. Rolling a good one.
good for us. It's a nightmare for these two. Yep, and Words is right. It had to be claim check because...
Well, yeah, it had to be claim check or long shot plus wallet in the first two.
Yeah.
Like, that was the it.
Yep, because one of the wallets was in Spirit, if I remember correctly, which means you couldn't buy it. You couldn't get Letter. And we didn't have 2 medallions. Yeah, all 3 of them. Yeah, one was in Spirit.
Yeah, but one was just in the TARDIS and Graveyard, so.
Yep, so it had to be claim check. Come on, Felix, couldn't you have put in a second wallet in Logic? I expect more from the Pepega King here. Oh, it's GTG like room. Ah. Which, again, we don't know where long shot is, so who knows? Who knows how deep into the logic that is?
Yeah, but I guess, like, if it had been long shot in Shadow, then you get the wallet there in GTG.
Could you imagine? Oh. And again, we're just watching them tread some old ground here. Cola in Spirit Temple going to be getting their hammer. Hamsda here in Shadow Temple. Not a whole lot left Hamsda's going to find, sadly. So, other things of note, oh, that's a nice little chew strat. Weekly's coming up here in a few hours.
Yeah, just a couple hours.
Yeah.
We still got plenty of matches all weekend and probably next week and the week after, and lots of Zooter here to watch.
There's just so much Zooter going on.
Tomorrow, it's 2 o'clock Eastern in the afternoon, Sauce Boss versus Arthur Houdini.
Ooh.
That's going to be a good one for sure. And then also in the evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, Ice 9 versus Favio. So 2 more great Challenge Cup matches going to be happening tomorrow here on the Silver Gauntlets.
Oh, Hamsda had it marked as a medallion? No, buddy! That makes so much more sense.
Oh no, he has it. Oh, is this like what happened to 10th Doctor the other day?
I did
With
something
the
like that.
he had marked I think it was like Deku as a stone when it was a medallion, and he was trying to rush all dungeons for Lullaby. He caught it as soon as he beat Deku that it was a medallion, and it was like no real harm done, but
Yeah. I could just imagine the confusion when you get to the cutscene and you're holding up a medallion. You're like,
yeah,
Wait
this
a
is
sec.
worse.
wait a second, hold up.
Interesting. Cola's still checking things here in Spirit.
Yeah, I think all of this is totally appropriate.
Yeah, but logically, wouldn't you realize like Longshot's not here?
This is. God, I gotta remember if this is 4 key or 5 key locked. I know some of the checks on left side are 4 key locked. I don't remember which ones.
Like Felix said, Cola should realize Longshot's not here, but the logic has been really nuts this season.
So nuts. So I don't fault any runner for getting lost in the logic here. Okay, that makes sense. And that's what I thought, Felix. I just couldn't remember. And so I think doing all the 4 key locked checks are appropriate. But, once you've realized that these following checks are all long shot locked, and if that's all you're missing, I think that's a good time to GTFO. But again, it's a lot easier to say all of this in hindsight, right? Where we have the advantage of being here in the commentary booth.
Yeah, we're just like, thinking it out the whole way through and not having to also, play and execute at a high level.
Yeah, right? At least not until Monday. that's when my So I will have to think and execute at a high level later. Give me 48 hours.
Nice. I believe in you.
Thanks. It's wild. It's against Levi Belvedere, who's one of my just absolute best friends. And so it's just gonna be trouble.
Oh, that's when the metagaming comes into play, when you know the other runner well.
Trash talking that's already been going on. It's been wonderful. And Felix pointing out, fun fact, in that room with the mirrors, if you used Inspire, you hard lock the game. It hard crashes. There's nothing you can do to save it. So if you want to have a good laugh, go to Spirit Temple, go to the mirror room, use Inspire. Wonderful. Cola going for Twin Roba. Going to be rewarded with a Lens of Truth, which doesn't feel that great, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. And I just double checking Cola's tracker. He does not have this marked as a medallion. So.
Which, if you're Cola at this point, right? You're going to go get Lens. You've done all this work. You know that fire is bitter, and all you've got is a hammer. You're probably going to do Lens minigame, right? Would be my bet. Do you just go and do Darunia afterwards? Nope. Cola's like...
Ooh, did he realize the logic mid-fight?
So.
Is he like, wait a minute, I can't do this?
He's like, I have 0 keys. What am I doing? Why am I doing this?
All right. He's figured it out. He's like, this can't be long shot. I needed it to get here.
Oh, man. Also, great shot from Hamsda there. It always feels so good to get that from the boat because it is such a hard-ass shot. Oh, going back to Goron City.
Oh, he didn't check the other part of the maze because he just got silvers and hammer recently, so...
Words, please tell me that was a direct quote from Cola. This is bad. This feels bad. This is bad.
He's not wrong.
No. Nope.
Yeah, Hamsda, gotta talk to the manager. The showroom floor did not have all of the keys. Please, sir, you got any in the back?
I'm gonna step away for just a second. Hold up.
Oh man, he's gonna miss the exciting barren fire sample. But yeah, shout outs to my co-commentator, DocHeaps here, our trackers next door and Dustar, and Felix, you know, for making this lovely seed. And then there's, you know, Hell Knight running everything behind the scenes. Yeah, this is pretty darn close. Maybe a slight edge to Hamsda now. But again, Hamsda still doesn't have iron boots, so...
I was like, what did I miss? Fire, bunk, nope, nothing. Beautiful. Love it.
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, Hamsda has not dipped cannons yet, so he should logic out to go there next.
I mean, Jabu, like, 1000% Jabu first.
Actually, yeah, Jabu, because it's your... Well,
Yeah,
Jabu's still not in logic, right? So...
But you can go do progression, like. I think and this is a heapsism. I would do.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. This is.
Like,
I would go to Jabu missing 2 items.
you know, logically the long shot's not there, but maybe the iron boots are.
The iron boots. Yeah. Yep. I would go maybe strength 3. Like, you just don't know. And it's progression. Like, I would do it.
Yeah, and it's like you could go mode Jabu if you do it the other way, but like the checks in Jabu are so fast anyway. It's
And there it is.
yeah, I think this is good play.
Yeah. Again, we have the hindsight to know that Ganon's Castle is the right play. I think without that hindsight, progression. Like, you've got a dungeon that you can do. There's a possibility of 2 child checks in Spirit. I mean, Hamsda doesn't know Spirit's Way the hero, but you know, it opens up Requiem. Like, it just, I think it's worth doing. And it opens up Ice if you feel that desperate that you want to go Ice.
Don't remind me of that Cub Seed where chickens had fire arrows and... I quit that one because I like didn't do chickens for like, God, so long in that one.
Yo, I got around it the first half of that seed. I had fire arrows. I had like, yo, so pretty. And then I never went to Stone Fire, and I never got my boomerang, and I just like lost. I just lost. Like, I did everything right in that damn qualifier, except for go to Forged, including full clear fire because
I was the opposite. I did everything right except I skipped chickens because I love to skip chickens and.
So
not the one to do that.
Damn qualifier. I could have gotten so many points.
The number of Cub seeds with that are more than one? Uh-oh.
Cubs, are you on drugs? Spike 2021. Yeah. Go moting Jabu. I mean, you lose a minute, maybe, by doing all the checks in Jabu versus go moting Jabu.
Yeah, this isn't like go moding Deku Tree where you din straight down or something and save 5 minutes. This is like 1.
Yo, but I have done that though in season 4, where I was missing light arrows, and I was like, you know what? Let's just gamble against Deku Tree. Why not? Like, let's have some fun. And Din's fired straight down. Did the ground jump. Din's fired again. I was like, Well, no, I checked the torch chest, and then Din's fired.
I had a seed like that too, where I din's fired, and it's like it opens up the torch chest. So I'm like, I'm still missing light arrows. What if?
I know, right?
And then it was light arrows, and I was like,
no way.
I'm like, I hope no one else does this. Just go mode this. Don't check it.
You did that as efficiently as humanly possible. It's like when you're missing light arrows and you go up to get the hint, but you're like, with season 3 especially, right? You're missing the hint, or you're missing light arrows. You go to get the hint, you're like, well, I just beat the Stalfos. I might as well check the boss key.
Yeah, you're like, it's right here.
And then the one time that it's sitting there and you just pop off, you're like, oh my god, I'm done. Yo, could you imagine this scene without Prelude? Oh, God.
Story of season 4 when you don't have Prelude.
Oh. Oh, and having done what Hamsda just did, where you throw Rudo instead of opening the door.
Whoops.
Did Hamsda just jump slash with a stick?
I believe so.
Is this tech that I don't know about, or is Hamsda just bored? I'm not quite sure which one. But it seems unnecessarily risky, and I love it. Yo, is he skipping? Is he skip? Yo!
I disagree. If you come here first, you check these.
Ballsy ass gameplay. Oh man. Oh man.
I don't know that I can agree with that though.
There's no way in hell I would be doing this.
Because if you're in Hamsda's position, you're like, it could be long shot and Ganon's and Iron's here, right? That's a possibility to him. So I question that call. We know it's fine, but
more power to you, Hamsda. There's no way in hell I would do that. No way in hell.
Oh, that's true too, though. Does he still think water is a stone and he doesn't even need irons?
Well, then what's his last medallion?
This, right?
Oh shit! Oh,
right. Oh, okay. So he thinks it's long shot and Ganon's, and that's that. Right.
I swear, if he
But
goes to get the boss
he thinks
key,
he's in go. He thinks he's fully in go mode.
oh no, he's gonna. Oh shit.
Because he's probably like he might have logicked it out like, oh, long shots and Ganons, but I don't even need that.
Oh,
So this is gonna be real interesting when he gets to the top. I didn't even realize that for a second, but because he mismarked it, he thinks this is the final dungeon. This is it. Now it makes sense why he's doing this and skipping everything.
Yeah, I have no words. Yes, absolutely. They're gonna play Prelude. They're gonna get the song. They're not gonna get.
Where's my key?
I know.
Game.
Oh shit! And then he's gonna be like, "I've got 2 more items to find."
Yeah, and he's gonna be like, "Oh no!
Oh no!
What did I do in Jabu?"
Oh no! And at that point, you just if it's in Jabu, you just lose. Like you just
yeah.
lose.
No, I mean he's gonna then go check Ganons, get irons, and go straight to water and pray that long shot's in water and what we think it is. So I think it's still fine. It's just gonna be a very, very anxious moment for him.
Yeah. And I still think you full clear Ganon's castle.
Yeah, he's gonna full clear Ganons.
Long shot could very easily just be, Shadow Drop too.
Yeah, he's gonna full clear Ganons and then go water.
Oh, and chat pointing out that Cola skipped Pierre.
Uh-oh. I don't remember where the key was in here because it was barren and I wasn't paying all that much attention to it.
It's not on Pierre. I can't remember if it was highest Koron or if it was Hammer Chest. It was one of the two, but I think it was highest Koron.
Right.
I very easily could
recall.
I too was not paying attention because I was like, it's Baron Fire. I don't care. Did Hamsda get their 40 skulls? Yes, that's all I care about. Baronade just being the worst. Hamsda showing off some great backup strats though.
Yeah, nice backup.
17 hearts? Oh god. I hate
double
so much.
I mean, between the two runners, we've almost cleared everything.
Yeah. Well, because they had to do all of Baron Fire. And apart from one check, they did all of Baron Lost Woods.
Yeah, had to go to Stone Spirit. Stone Cavern had some things. I mean, we've pretty much only skipped Ice Cavern and Water so far.
I am just looking forward to Hams's reaction when they go to Temple of Time and go, "Excuse you? Hey Zelda, where's my key? Where's my key at?" And have it not be there.
Yeah. It's too bad Hamsda doesn't have a face cam on to just see his face. I want to see his face.
Jeez. Well, and like, Gold Scale could have just showed up at any time. Well, it doesn't matter. Long shots in water. Big middle finger to Gold Scale, so. Yeah. Okay. Here we go, folks. Who's ready for Hamsda to realize that water's a medallion?
Running. Where's our key? Why don't we have the key?
Check the medallion layout.
Wait. I don't know.
Oh no!
A minute.
Oh no! That's gotta be. I feel like such an asshole for laughing. But you gotta imagine being Hamsda at this point, being like, Where do I? Where?
Yeah, you could see the stop there as he's walking out. Like
What's my route?
Yeah. But I
And
think
also, what is the logic in this?
I think he's got it. Go to Ganon's.
Go to Ganon's, and then it's just either it's in Shadow 2 or it's in Water Temple. But if you're Cola, where do you go from here? Fire's done.
Water. It's got to be back into water for Cola.
Well, I mean, we know that's the best play for Cola, but is that...
I think
if you're following the logic...
Well, I think he's following it because he bailed on the Twin Rova fight, right?
I don't know. I think that's back in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So if long shot's just in water, it looks like Cola's got the slight edge. If it's Shadow 2, then it's probably Hamsda with the little bit of an edge.
Yep. And again, does surprise me that Cola bailed out of water the first time. Maybe thinking, oh shoot, it could be in Goron City with that strength 2 that was just so easily accessible, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely a good check to make.
So I guess kind of thinking through this whole seed, you know, where apart from Hamsda thinking that Spirit Temple was a medallion and not a stone, what was it that kind of cost Hamsda a little bit of that lead? Because that strength 2 and going Spirit was so nice. And
full clearing GTG. I don't think Cola did all of it.
Yeah, I mean, because they've basically done about the same amount of checks, you know?
Yeah.
There it is. What song are you playing there, Cola?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cola skipped left side of GTG, so there's some of the time save.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of little time saves here and there. I think is and again, like I feel terrible for Hamsda in thinking that Spirit was a medallion and not a stone.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not what costs him here.
No.
If anything, it almost kind of helped him push back a little time save in Jabu, but
yeah. Well, the fact that Hamsda still doesn't know that Spirit Temple's way is a hero. Like, they never found that hidden.
Yeah. But yeah, that's also a little bit of the time waste. Cola, in the middle of the fight, bails out of it. Hamsda finishes it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying is that, you know, looking at Hamsda's route, looking at Cola's route, looking at the number of checks they've both done, you know, they both did a lot of this seed. And both did relatively the same checks, just kind of in different orders, and it just kind of worked out a little bit better for Cola than it did Hamsda. And I agree. I think Hamsda having strength 2 into GTG, thinking that Spirit was a medallion, might have gotten them to do a few extra checks, but it really wasn't that much more.
No, but it's just like a little here, a little there. Builds up to the couple minute difference we've got.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly it.
Right, because now Hamsda's done everything Cola did in Ganon's. He's checking the one extra here because he can, but otherwise if he just warps straight to water, easy boss key, easy long shot. He's only a couple minutes behind.
Also, the amount of times that I have that I've jumped off of that platform trying to get onto the switch, and Link's like, nah, fam, I'm just gonna keep jumping off, and like jumps past the switch. It's a nightmare.
Bolero?
Hamsda, where are you going?
Where are you going?
DMC Ferry?
He might not have checked it, and that could be Way of the Hero. Yeah, pulling out the hammer. But you should know this isn't it either, though, from logic. I mean, it's, again, 3 hours.
I think at this point, Hamsda's just grateful that they're not that.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably flustered, too, from the...
Yeah. I mean, you just thought you were done, and surprise, you're missing 2 items? God. Like, you're just praying it's not Jabu, for crying out loud, you know?
Looks like he might be making the play for Ice Cavern here.
Yep, this looks like an ice. Man, I feel for Hamsda. That's not how you want to. It's not how you want your first match to go down.
No, and again, it's just a bit unlucky. But I mean, it's still group stages. There's still a couple more matches for him. Still a good chance he can find his way into the brackets.
Yep. There are, let's see, 16 groups. Each group has 4 runners. The way it works is that the top 2 from each group, after doing a round-robin play, will make a bracket of 32 runners. So, a loss here for Hamsda doesn't mean that they are out. 1 loss, but 2 wins will still put them in a really good shot for being able to make brackets as that 2nd seed. Or possibly even 1st seed if it's, 3 runners go 2-1, which is possible. It's down but not out.
Yep. And on the bright side, maybe we'll get to see Strength 3.
Ooh.
Because it's most likely out here now.
Well, I mean, what do we have left?
A couple checks in water and here.
See, now I'm just curious to see where Strength 2 is. Or Strength 3, excuse me.
Nice easy kill on Ganondorf by Cola.
Just what? 2-3 minutes away now.
Yeah, for as awful as the seed has been, getting around a 310, not terrible.
Yeah. And that's honestly kind of what you're saying. The advantage that they had was to be able to play on a logic. Like, getting those fire arrows, really nice. Kind of gives you a little bit better options for routing. Getting Eponas out of logic, really nice. Like, there was just a lot of quality of life here, ways of getting out of logic so that we didn't have to spend as much time strictly working towards that 40 skulls.
Yeah, exactly. To be able to kind of keep progressing out of logic, getting dungeons and items done, but then just making sure you remember where you are out of logic so you can jump back in and say Ganon and water have to have the things to finish this off.
Yep. And I think that's kind of one of the big takeaways I would say from this match is, getting out of logic can help you do checks more efficiently, but at the end of the day, remembering logic can sometimes be what makes or breaks a race. Is if you remember the logic and where you went out of logic and what will get you back into logic, sometimes that can make it. Sometimes it's just a strength and you don't need any more strengths and you just start, swearing at the screen. I've had that happen before.
Or like the logical ball bag. Wow.
Yep. But and there it is. It's right when we get strength 3. GG's.
We found it.
Get your GG's in chat for Cola. Finishing first place. Just shy of 3 hours, 10 minutes. And hopefully we can get one of these two or both runners in for an interview afterwards.
Yeah, see how mad they are at Felix for this one.
Hard bottleneck, 40 skulls for Din's Fire.
To get your claim check, to get your hovers.
Beautiful. Because Shadow Temple locked your second medallion. Fine, whatever. I still can't believe that as we were joking earlier that Shadow Temple of all the medallions was your second medallion and gave you Ganon's Castle access. I can't believe that.
Yeah, what Bitsy wrote, all that mess.
Claim check to hovers, to Ganons, to irons, to longshot, to Rudo, to Requiem, to hammer. Easy. And we just said, nah, fam, we don't need any of that. I'm going to get opponents out of logic. No, glitchless jumps are just so great. They're just so swaggy.
Yeah, speeds this up so nicely.
Making sure you clear out the keys. Imagine if opponents had been on OT. Honestly, I think that, in some aspects, I think that would have been a blessing because it would have forced them to stay in logic.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, GG's Cola.
GG's. Damn. That was clutch to realize the logic there.
That's what we were wondering. Like, you jumped into the Twin Rova fight and we're like, now if he's really thinking here, he will know this is out of logic. And then you bail on the fight and we're like, he's done it. He's figured it out.
He did it.
Yeah, I thought about the keys in Spirit, and that made me realize that it's long shot locked for sure. And then I realized, wait, Epona is long shot locked, so he can't even get Ruto's letter. So many things were out of logic suddenly.
Bitsy put a beautiful comment in chat to say that 40 gave you Dins, which gave you claim check to hovers, which then gave you 2 medallions to go to Ganon's to get irons to get long shot, to then get Ruto's letter, which gave you Requiem, which then got you hammer.
Yeah, that's correct.
that's a nightmare.
Yeah,
and especially figuring out on the fly.
Yeah. Like, I think the Spirit keys were really what ticked me off there, because I realized I was missing 2 Spirit keys. So those were on the sunroom and on the left hand, or on the right hand of Colossus. And the right hand Colossus, if that's a key, then you need long shot for that. So there's no point in doing Twin Rover at that point.
Yeah. And I think that was my question was what tipped you off that, logically you needed long shot early in the seed, and it sounds like Spirit kind of was that tipping point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chat wants us to let you know what was on Twin Rova.
All right,
it was Lens of Truth.
Okay, so you couldn't even cross it even if you wanted to.
Couldn't even cross it even if you tried.
Yeah. See, Hamsda has strength 3. Where was that?
It's an ice cavern.
Oh yeah, ice cavern was also locked by long shot.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hamsda, he mismarked a couple dungeons.
Ooh.
Thinking Spirit was a medallion and water was a stone. And then I think probably got a little bit flustered at the end here when he realized it and maybe hasn't fully figured out the actual logic that would lead you to long shot in water.
Yeah, played a Prelude after having beaten Jabu, thinking that was their 6th medallion, got Requiem, and kind of sat there for a second waiting for the key to show up, and it never showed up.
Oof.
And at that point, paused, looked at the inventory, and realized that they were still missing they were missing a medallion and also didn't have long shot or irons at that point.
That's a rough spot to be in.
Yeah. But I think so when Hamsda grabbed Iron Boots out of Ganon's here, we were thinking if he immediately went to water that he was maybe like 2-3 minutes behind you. It was a pretty close race up until the very end here.
Yeah, I figured. Hamsda is a really good opponent, so I figured it was gonna be really worth a watch.
Oh, and there's Gold Scale. And for and come on, see. No, shout outs to you. Your 40 skull routing was incredible. I mean, I think you had 40 about the hour 20, hour 30 mark, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, it was later than that. It was like 2 hours in or something.
Was it closer to 2 hours?
Yeah.
You had it at quite a pretty good click, and also, I mean, it helped that you had enough things out of logic that you had progression to do in addition to collecting skulls.
Yeah, that was the good part. Like, I could do Jabu and stuff. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, even though it was technically out of logic, it was things to do while running around the overworld collecting skulls.
The second magic.
And there, are you kidding me? Come on, Light Trial.
Good seed.
Jeez, Felix, what did you do?
But like chat's asking, thoughts on that Gerudo Valley strength? Did you think maybe you were behind getting that late there, or?
Yeah, I was pretty late there. I guess I could have done that right after Long Ranch or something, but I don't know. I usually don't, so I just stuck with that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I was curious about, I'd love your thoughts on this, is skipping Valley when you went to GGG for the first time.
Well, I mean, the Wasteland was where they were. You kind of want to go there for sure.
Yeah.
And then you just cross because you're in the Wasteland.
Yeah, it was surprising that you dipped GTG, you did Gerudo Fortress on your way out, but skipped Valley. And in hindsight, we knew that Valley had something, but that makes sense that you were focusing on that way of the hero with those fire arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then only to get all the way out to Spirit and finally see that 4th wave of the hero.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time any of us saw it, was when you got out there. We were like, what?
I wonder where the other hints are. Probably like back of the lake or something stupid.
It's
somewhere
like
down.
back of the lake, something like that.
Yeah, and we were trying to figure out what was, early on in the seed, we felt that the seed, no minuet, no Sarias, Mirror Shield Way of the Hero. We're like, this has got to be another, logical AD for forced access. It actually wasn't.
It's not quite. You could get.
Yeah, you could get a
Minuet and an ice.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, because Forest didn't have anything, didn't lock anything.
So, and that was a surprise to us pretty late in the seed when you finally went to Burning Cack and it was Sunsong.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait a second, you could get Minuet without having to do AD. And sure enough, that Mirror Shield was just Way of the Hero for that Mirror Lock check, which had Hammer.
Yeah. In hindsight, I should have just bailed right after Hammer and Spirit.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I just didn't realize the logic at the time.
Yeah,
so
we had it in the, commentary and chat. We had the logic piece together, like, well, the long shot can't be in Spirit, but we also, recognize you're like 2-3 hours into this race trying to play at such a high level, like sometimes obscure logic eludes you for a minute or two, and
yeah,
you got it back together real quickly there in the Twin Row fight to bail. So
yeah, that's good enough, I guess. But
yeah,
I guess I should have realized earlier.
Well, and if nothing else, it was nice in the fact that it pushed you to water for long shot versus getting baited somewhere like Ice Cavern, which has a high density of checks, which could be an easy place to think, oh, maybe I should go ice next. Instead being like, no, I know water has to have something that leads me to long shot. Because it's the only thing that I have left in logic.
Oh, well, I had chickens and like the Din's Ferry still, but that's about it.
I guess we as Restream knew that chickens and Din's Ferry were both not items.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. I don't. Was it you who didn't get the other Baron hint?
I only found one of them.
What do you think the other one was?
It's a good one.
What was the other one? Probably like yeah, I don't know.
It's the old classic, the Lost Woods.
Oh yeah.
Woods Baron.
That makes sense. There was nothing there.
So yeah, those were it too. We were talking about this though, that you don't see Haunted Wasteland very often as a Way of the Hero item or Way of the Hero location, but it sure feels nice when it is a Way of the Hero location.
Oh yeah, you exactly know which check to go for, so you know what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean it's not CAC Way of the Hero is basically just saying play the seed.
Yeah.
Because there's so many checks. There's 2 songs. Like it's there's so many things that are open. Haunted Wasteland, there's literally one check. Whatever you find there, is Way of the Hero, and then it's just figuring out, how is it Way of the Hero? What do I do with it?
I mean, it was pretty easy to figure out Dejabu with Rita's letter.
But I think what made this so interesting as a seed, though, is not necessarily the item that you found, but like what it took to get to that item.
Yeah, I guess you could have technically gotten it with Dins instead of fire arrows. I think Dins was in logic before getting the fire arrows.
Yeah, well, Dins was needed to get you out to where the wasteland was anyway. It set that whole chain in motion anyway.
But I think most players would just find the fire arrows and do the check with those.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who needs logic?
Yeah. I mean, it helped at the end for sure.
Oh, yeah. So now remind me, who else is in your group, in Group K?
There's Menu in my group, and then there's Tenacious Toad.
Oh. I would say it's a fun group, but that does sound like a pretty hard group, all things considered.
It's a really hard group. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it's-
I'm pretty happy about having this win, so I feel a bit safer.
Yeah, it's gotta feel good to get the quick win here in a group as tough as that, knowing now maybe you just need one more of the other two.
Yeah, I think if I win one more, I should be pretty safe.
Yeah. I mean, and you look at the caliber of play here. I mean, Hamsda just got that quick kill on Morpha like it was nobody's business. I mean, so easily.
Yeah, I miss
So,
it.
yeah, absolutely, right? Hamsda. I
Point
mean,
and gone.
nobody's surprised that Hamsda plays at this caliber. But to your point, it must be reassuring being like, you know what, I've got this win under my belt. Probably my hardest opponent, at least from the rank wise, definitely your hardest opponent. But also, just having that win, so that way, if there is something that goes wrong, you have a loss later down the road, which hopefully not. But, if that does happen, you've at least got that one win under your belt already.
I think it could easily happen in Season 4 settings.
Oh my God, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's no question asked. I could easily lose against anyone.
I mean, if you've been watching any of the Season 4 of the main ZSR tournament, I mean, there's already been some wild upsets already.
Yeah, I know.
So yes, Felix says, welcome to the casino.
I've already played the casino in quals and pretty much lost.
The casino, also known as the 1 in 32.
That was such a great qualifier.
Oh, I was so proud of you when I saw your time. I was like, my man Cola, look at that. Way to just absolutely destroy everyone on that qualifier by just saying, nah, let's just do 1 in 32, and then getting it and then having it pay out, which is just insane.
I think I would have gotten destroyed in that race if I don't get the 1 in 32, by the way. Because I never read the fires where they were, and I wouldn't have gone there for strength 3.
I know all the rest of us had to work hard for that lens.
Yeah.
No, and again, like, even taking that out, you had, a series of races that you just did phenomenal on. And so, showing again today that, you're definitely a contender and a phenomenal player.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Yeah. How have you liked Season 4 so far?
It was pretty frustrating in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I seriously underperformed.
Yeah, and that's got to be challenging now, walking into challenge.
Yeah. Thoughts on maybe having to do with the settings, less hints, more places to look at, more things to find?
I don't know if it's the settings, to be honest, or if it's just me playing too unsafe or something. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that was something that, even watching today, I think there was a good balance of, risk taking while also having a plan or a backup in case those risks didn't pay out.
Yeah, that's usually how I play.
Yeah. I feel like, when you abandon checks, you had a good way of routing those checks back in with other checks when you did get, like, for example, Valley. You skip Valley. I thought that was a strong gamble. Sadly, I had strength 2, but you already had a route of, like, let's do Northern Hyrule. Let's route those 2 in together. Like, you had a good backup plan to compensate for when those risks didn't pay out, which I thought was very strong of you.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna abandon stuff, you might as well abandon an area rather than a single check. That's usually how I play at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an interesting difference watching you two, where you just push the progression a little harder, kind of abandoning things to come back to later, like say the river or domain, whereas Hamsda very thorough along, you know, the path, doing all these things through towards the progression. And
I
I mean,
think both
overall, it kind of,
playstyle have a way to work out, and that's perfectly fine.
yeah, like again, both worked pretty well here. You guys were only a couple minutes apart from most of the seed.
And again, it is hard to compare, knowing that Hamsda thought Spirit was a medallion, and
Yeah, that's really rough.
yeah.
So, thoughts on Zero Stick Dead Hand?
Oh my god, that's picking apart. Why did I go in with just one stick? That was really stupid.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Because of, you immediately leave and go grab the pot. So it's not like you didn't know about the pot. It just was one of those that.
Yeah, I just didn't look at my stick count before, and then I walk in and I have one stick, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, he just does not like to be jump slashed there.
That was so much help in that fight.
I know.
I was like getting afraid that I would die.
And then, of course, ending the seed with 17 hearts and double defense.
Yeah. That's the usual probably for me.
Speaking of ending the seed, get your GGs in, Hamsda. Getting that final hit.
GG is Hamsda.
I know, it's a real treat that we had a German match. That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, I don't know if there's many other German players in the Challenge Cup. I haven't really looked.
And Ham's like, I'm done. Which rightfully so. Hell Knight saying, we need more German players. I would love to help you with that, but I certainly not German. Felix saying that Hamsda won't be joining us. So any final thoughts on the seed or on the race, Cola?
Water sucks. I don't know.
Ban Felix for making seeds. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But congratulations on your first win in the group stage here, and good luck on the next two.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thanks for the luck.
And with that, Ingle, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, yeah, to wrap up, again, we've got Sauce Boss versus Arthur Houdini tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, followed by Ice 9 versus Favio at 7 Eastern. So,
So if you haven't gotten enough Zooter in your life recently, feel free to hang out with us on Sunday.
but other than that, I think if Hell Knight could maybe find us a nice raid target.
And of course, huge shout outs to our trackers. We have Kid Next Door and Dastar, my co-commentator Ingle, who's been hanging out with me for the last 3.5 hours, and of course, Hell Knight, who's helping put all this together. We had Felix, who was our moderator today, doing just a phenomenal job.
My co-commentator, DocHeaps, and everyone here watching in the chat. Thanks for being here.
Y'all are cuties.
Ooh, ZSR has Marco versus Gav. Now that's a match to watch.
I
match
want
here
to
to another.
Oh God, and we're hopping right into the middle of it. Oh, this is going to be a treat. Okay, friends, see you tomorrow and or in the weekly in like an hour and a half. That's where I'll be.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Okay.
See you around.
And we play some nice outro music. Woo!